Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto is a Quincy in Bleach. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by Carcaridon and link in the description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1. Who am I really? The village, Konohagakure. A village situated in the land of fire. It is a ninja village. Peaceful, but deadly. Led by the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi. He took over after the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze died, sealing the nine-tailed demon fox into a young boy. Pain and loneliness. That is all Naruto Uzumaki has known in his short life. As he digs in another trash can, hoping to find something edible, he thinks on his short life. At 6 years old, he has been on his own for over 2 years now. Ever since he got kicked out of the orphanage at 4 just for asking for some food. Why isn't there ever anything to eat here, he asks himself. He tenses as he hears a bottle roll. Eyes darting around, looking for any danger, he turns down the alley. It's nothing, he murmurs. There he is. Shouts a voice coming from the other end of the alley. Today we will finally get our revenge. We will finally finish what the Yondaime Hokage started 6 years ago. We will kill the demon and get revenge for killing our families and the Yondaime. Naruto turns and looks behind him, frightened as he sees a large group of people standing there. He sees both villagers and ninja holding various weapons. From pitchforks, kunai and even broken bottles. Naruto bolts in that moment, knowing it is his only chance of survival. The group gives chase. I never did anything to you, Naruto shouts as he runs for his life. You lie, demon, shouts a man leading the pack. Just stop running so we can end you like the Yondaime would want. Naruto doesn't slow down for a moment. Knowing from past experiences that the best thing for him to do is run as far and as fast as possible. He knows if he can make it to the Hokage Tower, he may be saved. But that only will work if he can outrun the ninja and the mob behind him. Something he knows he won't be able to do. One of the ninja grins maliciously as he throws a few kunai towards the running boy. I'll get you, you demon, the man yells angrily. Naruto turns and sees the kunai heading towards him. He knows he's doomed. He can't dodge or deflect them. He does the only thing he can think of. He covers his face and chest with his arms as the kunai hit him. 2 kunai impacting him in his right forearm and another going into his thigh. Ah, Naruto screams in pain. He drops to the ground screaming as blood slowly pools around his wounds. He tries crawling away, but that ends quickly as the mob surrounds him. Naruto knows this is going to hurt. He curls up into a ball hoping that anyone will save him. We finally caught you now. Now you will suffer and die like you should have 6 years ago, you demon. The mob moves in, anger in their eyes and malicious smiles on their faces. Then the beating begins. Each person in the mob uses whatever they have and even things picked off the ground to beat the poor boy. Make it stop. Let me just die already, Naruto thinks. He can feel how weak he is. He can feel himself growing weaker as more and more blood is spilt and bones are snapped like twigs. He is no longer screaming in pain. What comes out wouldn't even be called a grunt. Just an escape of air. Luckily or unluckily, the blackness of unconsciousness envelops him and he knows no more. Do you want power, child? A voice rumbles through the blackness. Do you want to live and teach them? The voice asks. Yes, I want to live. I want to be a powerful ninja. I want to protect those who need to be protected, Naruto replies. Very well. I will give you what you have been denied. Not out of the kindness of my heart, but because I want to see what you will do. I want to see if you will hold to your convictions in this hellish world. We will meet someday. I will be watching, the voice says, fading away slowly. All of a sudden, Naruto feels power coursing through him. He can feel his bones being snapped back into place and healing in an instant. He is suddenly thrust back into consciousness. I see you are awake, young Naruto, a voice beside him says. Naruto opens his eyes and sees the third Hokage sitting beside his bed. What happened to me, Gigi? Naruto asks. You were found laying in an alley unconscious, Naruto. No one knows how you got there or why you were covered in blood, the Hokage replies. Can you tell me what happened, he asks. I was beaten by a bunch of people. They called me a demon and chased me. I fell unconscious when they started beating on me. I then heard a voice offering me power and saying that I was getting what I was denied. Then I felt power run through me and I woke up, Naruto states. What does this all mean, Gigi? He asks. I don't know, Naruto. I will have to think on it and let you know what I find out, he replies. Concern written on his face as he stares at the young boy. Is it the Kyuubi or something worse, he asks himself. Boy, tell him the word Quincy, a voice booms in Naruto's mind. Gigi, the voice told me to tell you Quincy, Naruto says, looking at the Hokage as he pales. Fear rushing over the old man's face. Naruto, wah, Hiruzen tires to speak. Tries and fails. Frightened by what the young boy said. Concerned that the beast sealed into the young boy might be breaking free. Unsure how to proceed, he takes a moment to compose himself. Naruto, there are many things I have not told you. I have not told you these things in order to protect you. You may hate me for hiding this information from you, but I hope that one day you will forgive an old man for trying to shield you from the truth. The word Quincy dates back even before we ninja came about. It is something I have heard of spoken only in myth and legend. Spoken with fear and awe. What little I do know is this. On your mother's side, there is a saying, a Quincy will rise from the ashes of the new world to give birth to the old. I don't know what that means, but if you are truly a Quincy, then you will have a long, hard road ahead of you. Your life will not be the same if you choose to go down this path. I will leave you to think on this, and I will be back tomorrow to hear your answer. The Hokage gets up slowly, looking even older than his 67 years. Drained by what he learned from the boy and what he told him. He pats Naruto on the head, giving him a sad smile and leaves the room. Tomorrow I will find out about my mother and what a Quincy is, Naruto thinks to himself. I will go down this path even if it kills me. Nothing will stop me. Hahaha. I can't wait to see what this boy will become. He will either destroy everything around him or he will die, the voice thinks to itself. I wonder just how far I can push the child. I wonder if I can trick him into releasing me sooner. Chapter 2. The truth. A beam of sunlight filtered in through the blinds of the hospital window, hitting the face of Naruto, waking him up. Ugh. I hate the sun. Always waking me up when I don't want it to, Naruto grumbled loudly. He rubbed his eyes, trying to fully wake up. Then the events of the previous day hit him. His eyes widened and an odd look came across his face. It was a mixture of anger and excitement. He wondered how long he'd have to wait for the Hokage to come and tell him what he promised. I hope it won't be long. I'm excited to learn about my mother, yet angry at Gigi for what he's done. What has he been hiding from me? When will I learn the truth, Naruto thought to himself. Knock, knock. Naruto heard the sound from the door. Pulling him from his thoughts, he says, come in. He sees the Hokage enter along with a fox mask Anbu. Good morning, Naruto. I hope you had a good night's rest. I hope you thought over what I said yesterday, the Hokage says, sitting down in the chair by the bed. The Anbu leaned up against the wall, alert but relaxed. Yes, I've thought over what you said, and I've decided to follow this path wherever it leads me. I won't fail or give up, Gigi, Naruto says, conviction clearly shining in his eyes. Very well, Naruto. First I must introduce you to someone who will be able to help you in your training. He will be training you in both the ninja arts and teaching you what he knows of Quincy's, the Hokage says, motioning over to the Anbu. This is Kiski. He, like you, is an orphan. He was trained by your mother and her family. His training was for you. To protect you and guide you if your Quincy powers manifested. The Anbu stepped forward, removing his mask. He stood at 5'9", with piercing blue eyes and long brown hair. He wasn't overly muscled, but you could tell by looking at him he packed a punch. He looked to be in his 30s or perhaps even younger. Hello, Naruto-sama. I am Kiski Uzumaki. My Uzumaki name was given to me by your mother. If you are wondering why I didn't raise you, it is because of your mother and partially because of the civilian council. Your mother forbid me to ever contact you until your Quincy powers awoke. The council barred me from ever coming near you, Kiski says solemnly, his head bowed toward Naruto. While Naruto stutters. You knew my mother? Who was she? Did she love me? Why didn't you try harder to take care of me? Naruto asks. Naruto, the Hokage says, getting up from his seat and getting down on his knees, bowing to Naruto, there is a lot to tell you today. Don't blame Kiski for what happened to you growing up. That blame lies solely at my feet. I failed you, my boy. I failed to protect you when I should've. Naruto's eyes widen in shock at seeing the Hokage, the professor, bowing to him on his knees. Naruto knew what this meant. It meant the Hokage was ashamed by his actions and was begging for forgiveness. Gigi, get up please, Naruto says. I forgive you, Gigi. I know you did your best. I know that you couldn't be there all the time. You are Hokage. You have a village to worry about. You can't be expected to watch one person constantly. Kiski, I will wait until I hear your side of the story before I say anything. Just stop with the Sama stuff. I am not older than you, nor am I more powerful than you. The Hokage gets up from his position on the floor, smiling at Naruto at his words. Very well, Naruto. Since I now know you are mature enough to forgive an old man, I'll start telling you the truth. Be mindful that I cannot tell you the full truth. There are still some things that I must keep from you for your protection and the protection of the village as a whole, Sarutobi says while sitting back in the chair. I understand, Hokage Gigi, Naruto calmly replies. First off, everything I am about to tell you must remain a secret. You can't tell anyone because if it got out, there could be some serious repercussions. Now, about your mother. Her name was Kushina Uzumaki. She came to this village when she was only 5 years old. Kiski traveled with her. The reason your mother came to this village was at the request of the Shodi Hokage's wife, Mito Uzumaki Senju. Mito was coming to the end of her life and she needed an Uzumaki for a specific purpose. She needed to transfer the nine-tailed demon fox into your mother, Sarutobi stated. Naruto looked up in shock, eyes wide in disbelief. What do you mean, Jiji?" Naruto asks. The truth is, Naruto, Mito Uzumaki sealed the nine-tailed demon fox into her when her husband, Hashirama Senju and Madara Uchiha, fought at the Valley of the End. Madara was trying to use the nine-tailed demon fox to fight Hashirama, and Mito was a sealing genius. She sealed the nine-tailed fox into herself to protect her husband and everyone else from Madara, Sarutobi stated. Mito became the first Jinchuriki of the fox. Jinchuriki means the power of human sacrifice. It is the term we use to describe anyone who has a biju, or tailed beast, sealed into them. Mito needed an Uzumaki to seal the nine-tailed fox into because only a Uzumaki can keep the demon at bay. Do you understand so far, Naruto? Kisuke asks, concern showing in his voice. I think so, Jiji, Kisuke, Naruto replies. The Shodi's wife sealed a demon into herself to protect everyone from Madara. I may not be smart, but I have heard of him and what he did to people. He would have used the fox to destroy everything around him. What I don't understand is what you mean by that only an Uzumaki can hold the demon at bay. Uzumakis have very large chakra reserves and live for a very long time, Naruto, Kisuke answers. Mito Uzumaki was actually over 100 years old when she died after sealing the fox into your mother. Hearing this, Naruto was in awe. Were they human after the fox got sealed into them? Naruto asks. Yes, they were human, Kisuke replies. He pulled a scroll out of one of his pouches and a kunai from another. He opened the scroll and wrote something on it. Placing the kunai on the writing, he then pressed down and muttered seal. The kunai disappeared in a plume of smoke. Rolling up the scroll and showing it to Naruto, he asks, is this a scroll or is it a kunai? It's a scroll, Naruto replies. There's your answer then. They were not the fox. They were the scroll that held the fox much like that one holds a kunai, Kisuke says with a small smile. Since you understand, let me continue, Naruto, Sarutobi says. Mito sealed the fox into your mother and gave her some advice. The advice was this, the Kyuubi is a being of hatred. In order to counteract that hatred, you must fill yourself with love. What this meant is that your mother, Kushina, had to find something or someone to love. Whether it was the people around her or someone she chose to spend her life with. She had to fill herself with love to counteract the hatred that was sealed inside her. It took her quite a while to find that love. I remember when she did, her smile could brighten the darkest days. Wow. She sounds amazing. Do you have a picture of her? Naruto asks. Kisuke steps forward pulling out a photograph from the pouch on his hip. Handing it over to Naruto, he says, this was taken a few months before you were born. I have many pictures of your parents, but because your father must remain a mystery for now, this is the only photo I have of your mother by herself. Naruto takes the picture, nodding at the man in thanks. He looks at the picture and gasps. He sees a beautiful red-headed woman sitting at the base of a tree. A small smile on her face as she looks down at her stomach. Hands resting on it. Wow. She's beautiful, Naruto whispers. Indeed she was, Naruto. I wish she was here with you. It would make things so much easier. But, we can't dwell on the past. Only learn from it. What I have to say next is hard, Naruto. I don't know where to begin and I don't know how you will take it, Sarutobi says quietly. I hope you understand my reasoning and are mature enough for the burden you carry. We don't know exactly what happened the night you were born. What we do know is this. When a female Jinchuriki gives birth, the seal that holds back a biju weakens because energy is redirected to the growing infant. The Yondaime Hokage was there with your mother to add power to the seal as she gave birth. He was a sealing master, so he was the best person to help your mother out in her time of need. For one reason or another, the nine-tailed fox broke free and begun attacking the village. Many brave people lost their lives that night, including your mother and the Yondaime Hokage. The history books all say that the Yondaime Hokage defeated and killed the Kyuubi. This is a lie. The biju cannot be killed. Only sealed. Naruto's eyes widen a bit at this revelation. He sealed it in me, didn't he? Naruto asks. Yes, Naruto. Out of every person in this village, you were the one chosen by the Yondaime to protect this village every second you live. You were chosen not because of convenience, but because you are in Uzumaki and because your mother was the previous host to the Kyuubi. Every second you draw breath, you protect us all. The Yondaime wanted you to be seen as a hero for holding the Kyuubi at bay. I tried to honor his wishes and I failed. We both failed you, Naruto. The Yondaime for thinking the villagers would see you as a hero and me for not protecting you better. I passed a law prohibiting anyone from mentioning the Kyuubi to children around your age, hoping that you'd be able to have a normal childhood. The penalty is death for anyone who breaks the law, but I failed even in that. People scorn you and beat you. It is my fault, Naruto. I failed, Sarutobi says, tears freely flowing down his face. It is the people of this village who have failed, Jiji, Naruto says. Sarutobi looks at him in awe, seeing a blazing fire behind his piercing blue eyes. I don't blame you. You tried. That is more than what the majority of this village has done, Gigi. Thank you Naruto. I have told you everything I can for now. From now on, it will be up to you and Kiski where you go from here, Sarutobi says, getting up. He hands Kiski a few scrolls and whispers something in his ear. Goodbye for now, Naruto. Know that if you ever need me, my door is always open to you, he says as he leaves the room. Well, that is a lot to dump on you, Naruto. I know. For now, I want you to rest here for the rest of the day and I'll be back in the morning to take you to your new home, Kiski says. Why can't we just go now, Kiski, Naruto asks. I need to get things ready for you, Naruto. Plus, I want to take things slow for now. Allow the information you just learned today to seep into your brain. Think over questions you may have for me tomorrow. You must learn that patience is important for a ninja and learning something new too fast can cause more harm than good. Everything will make more sense tomorrow, trust me, Kiski says. Okay. I may not like it, but I can tell you know what you're doing, Naruto says. Kiski nods at him and leaves. Naruto looks out the window at the Hokage monument. Looking at the face of the fourth Hokage, he thinks on what he learned. Should I hate you for what you did or should I hate the villagers, Naruto asks himself. I guess only time will tell what I choose. I now know why I am hated. I will become stronger to protect myself and others who need protection. That is a promise that I will at least make you, Yondaime. Naruto turns away from the window and stares off into space. Trying to be patient and think over everything he learned. I will show Kiski that I can think for myself and be patient. He is right that if I learned too much at once it could hurt me. I heard as is from what I learned. Naruto looks at the photo of his mother and smiles. At least I know who my mother is and that I was loved. You can see it in her eyes. Naruto carefully places the photo on the bedside table and lies down looking at it. He slowly drifts off to sleep with a small smile on his face. So the child knows who his mother is now. He has no idea what he's in store for. I can't wait to see him break when he learns the full truth. And I will be there to see it all and push him over the edge. Hehehe. The voice thinks to itself. Chapter 3. Council Woes. Hiruzen Sarutobi made his way back to the Hokage Tower after leaving Naruto's hospital room. As he stepped into his office, a sense of dread washed over him. He knew what he had to do now that Naruto knew a piece of his heritage. He had to gather the council and announce the return of the Uzumaki clan. His dread came from the amount of paperwork this announcement would generate. Or, Tora, notify the ninja council of a meeting in 15 minutes, the Hokage orders sternly. The two Anbu appear, kneeling in front of the Hokage. Hi, is the only word spoken before they both vanish as fast as they appeared. Sarutobi makes his way over to a safe beside his desk. Opening it quickly, he pulls out 3 scrolls and closes the safe. Hopefully this will be enough for now. I can't fail Naruto this time, he thinks to himself. Council chambers. Sarutobi walks into the council chambers 10 minutes later, shock on his face as he sees not only the ninja council, but the civilian council too. This will not be good, he thinks to himself. He knows in his heart that this meeting will be long and atrocious. He gazes over the ninja council composed of clan heads and his former teammates. Danzo Shimura. An old war hawk and the voice of the Uchiha clan on the council. Greedy and as cunning as a snake. Also, a constant thorn in Sarutobi's side when it comes to votes on peace. Hamura Midokado. Another former teammate of Sarutobi. He retired at a young age and focused on knowledge. Sarutobi can always count on Hamura to look at things from a logical point of view and provide good insight into any situation. Kahara Udatane. The last member of Sarutobi's Genin squad. She has always worked for the best of the village. Shikaku Nara. Head of the Nara clan. Jonin commander, part of the infamous Ino Shikacho trio, insanely smart but lazy, sees everything not worth his time as troublesome, able to control shadows with family techniques. Inoichi Yamanaka. Head of the Yamanaka clan. Head of the torture and interrogation unit, part of the infamous Ino Shikacho trio, able to mind walk with family techniques. Toza Akimichi. Head of the Akimichi clan. Part of the infamous Ino Shikacho trio and someone you never want to call fat, able to change size with family techniques. Tsume Inyazuka. Head of the Inyazuka clan. A beautiful but deadly feral woman. With her canine companion Kuromaru, can shred people like paper with her family techniques. Hiyashi Hyuga. Head of Hyuga clan. A clan that is prideful because of their Kekkei Genkai, the Byakugan, eyes that can see 360 degrees. And deadly hand-to-hand combat skills. Greetings, Hokage-sama, Hiyashi says, as the Hokage sits down at the head of the council table. Greetings, Hyuga-san. I find myself in a bit of a quandary, the Hokage says with a small smile on his lips. What do you mean, Sarutobi, asks Mibuki Haruno, a civilian council member. What I mean is, I called for a meeting of the ninja council. Not the civilian one. Why are you civilian councilors here? And you will address me as is proper, as Hokage-sama, Sarutobi states, with a subtle amount of killing intent being released. "We're here because this is a council meeting," Sarutobi Miyuki states, not realizing the Kai for what it was and completely ignoring the Hokage's warning. "Remove yourselves now," Sarutobi shouts. "I call this meeting for the ninja and clan councils only. You civilians have no right to be here since I didn't call for you. Remember, this is a ninja village ran by ninja. We protect you and you work in peace because of that sacrifice." The civilians look to the older members of the council, Danzo, Hamura and Kaharu. All three share a look with each other and nod in agreement with the Hokage. The civilians leave, grumbling the whole time. "Now that is taken care of, let's start with why I called this meeting," Sarutobi says. "I called this meeting to announce the reinstatement of the Uzumaki clan." "What?" shouts Danzo in disbelief. "We were told the Uzumaki clan was no more after the Kyuubi attack. You said that her child died with her." "I lied," Sarutobi says. "I lied to protect her child. Everyone here knows who she was married to and what that entails. If I had allowed the child to be acknowledged from the beginning, the child wouldn't have lived very long." "Who is this child?" Hiashi asks. "You all know the child. Each of you have tried to save the child from the scorn of the village many times in his short life," Sarutobi states. "Troublesome," the Nara head says as he sits up fully. "You told us you named him Uzumaki to honor her and the memory of her village's sacrifice. Why did you lie to us? You could have told us like you are now." "I had my reasons," the Hokage says. "I know many of you wanted to raise the child. But I couldn't allow that. I didn't want your clans to become ostracized because of what the child holds." "Very well, Hokage-sama," Danzo says. "I ask that we bring this matter to a vote. All those in favor of recognizing the return of the Uzumaki clan raise your hand." In seconds, every hand was raised. "Very well," Danzo says. "We will inform the village in a week that the Uzumaki clan is once again in our village. We must also inform the instructors at the academy to tell the true history of the Uzumaki clan. We will honor their memory." "Good. I call this council meeting to an end. May you all have a good day. I need to go focus on the paperwork this will have generated," the Hokage says as he stands up to leave. As the door to the council chambers closes behind him, he can hear a smattering of laughter. At least they can laugh at something. I fear what next week will bring. They will be held to pay with the civilian council members. I can feel it in my bones, Sarutobi thinks to himself. Chapter 4. Learning Curve. Hiski Uzumaki stood in the hospital room watching as Naruto slept. Thinking over the events of the past few days, he has a sad smile on his face. This child has been through so much at such a young age. Most people would have given up by now, he thinks to himself. I wonder how the training will go. Will he be like his mother? Strong yet brash. Or will he learn patience and silence? Hiski is brought out of his thoughts by Naruto slowly sitting up. "Hiski? Why are you here so early?" Naruto asks as he fully wakes up and sees the man standing there. "I thought we could get an early start. We need to do some shopping and move into your new home," Hiski says. Naruto's eyes widen in surprise. Excitement clearly plastered to his face. "Yay. I'll finally have a place to sleep," Naruto states as he jumps out of the bed. "Naruto, what do you mean by that?" Hiski asks. "Huh? Oh, just that I've been living on the street since I was kicked out of the orphanage 2 years ago. I usually slept wherever I could. Empty dumpsters, cardboard boxes," Naruto says, embarrassment on his face at the revelation of his life. "Naruto, don't be embarrassed at what happened to you. You should be proud. You are strong for having to go through all that. Most people would have given up." "I have to ask, why didn't you go to the Hokage for help?" Hiski asks, anger showing in his eyes. "This village has done more harm than good with this boy. They will rue the day they decided to torment and abuse him," Hiski thinks to himself. "I tried to let Hokage Jiji know, but was always kicked out of the Hokage tower by his secretary. I did get some help from Nara-san, Yamanaka-san, Aburam-san, Akamichi-san and Inyazuka-san. They gave me food and clothes when they could. I never went directly to them for help because I didn't want to abuse the help they gave me," Naruto says, a sad smile on his face at the memories of the help he received. "You're wise, Naruto. And those people were wise and kind to help when they could. You will thank them when you see them later. They will be glad to know that you are okay and you appreciate the help they gave you." "Did Hyuga-san help at all?" Hiski asks. "No," Naruto states venomously. "The Hyugas beat me whenever I was around their clan grounds." Hiski's eyes narrow at this revelation. He knows that the Hokage will want to know of this and have words with the Hyuga clan. "Naruto, let's get out of here," Hiski says as he puts a smile on his face to try and set Naruto's mind at ease. He picks Naruto up and walks out of the room. Taking Naruto out of the hospital took only a few minutes. The looks and glares the boy got irritated Hiski to no end. This is going to be hard for a while, Hiski thinks to himself. They put the hospital behind them and start walking into the shopping district of Konoha. "Naruto, stick beside me and ignore any glares or looks you receive," Hiski tells him. "Hi," Naruto replies quietly, his eyes darting around looking for any danger. Kisuke and Naruto approach Takagawa's clothing. Entering, they hear a cheerful voice say, "Welcome to Takagawa's clothing." They see an older woman standing behind the counter. As she sees Naruto, her eyes narrow. "Get out, boy. We don't serve your kind here," she says coldly. "Naruto, go ahead and look at some of the clothes while I talk to this kind woman," Kisuke says, smiling at Naruto. Naruto nods and heads further into the store. Kisuke walks up to the counter and grabs the woman by the front of her shirt. "Listen closely and listen well, woman," Kisuke whispers coldly. "You are going to serve Naruto with kindness and respect. If you don't, you won't have to worry about a shop because there will be nothing left once I'm done with you." The woman's eyes widen in fear as she looks into Kisuke's cold eyes. She can see her death in those eyes. She pales and nods repeatedly. "Good. Now, everything Naruto gets will have the Uzumaki clan symbol on it. Is that understood? And you will not breathe a word of this to anyone, okay?" Kisuke asks quite warmly. The woman nods in agreement. Knowing that if she failed to honor his request, Kisuke would make her life a living hell. Naruto browses the aisles pulling clothes down that pique his interest. Mainly white clothing with dark blue highlights. 5 minutes later, he walks up to Kisuke, arms laden with clothes. "I think I have enough for now, Kisuke. And I pick things that are slightly larger, so I have some room to grow," Naruto says, sounding muffled behind the armload of clothes. "Very good, Naruto. I'll pay this lady and we'll go to your new home," Kisuke says as he pulls his wallet out. The woman rings up the clothes and Kisuke hands over the money for it. "You'll be able to pick up the clothes in a few hours, or if you'd like to leave an address, we can have them delivered to you," the woman says. "Have them delivered to the Uzumaki clan compound later tonight. And make sure whoever delivers the clothes knows not to speak of where or to whom the delivery was for," Kisuke says. "Hi," the woman says quietly as Naruto and Kisuke leave. Kisuke leads Naruto away from the shopping district heading to the clan district. Naruto gets nervous as they enter the large district holding the popular and rich clans of Konoha. "Naruto, you have nothing to worry about here. I am here to guide and protect you. Your new home is in this district. The Uzumaki clan has a clan compound here," Kisuke says after seeing Naruto's nervousness. "Thus so long as we stay away from the Hyuga clan area, I'll be happy," Naruto says. Kisuke nods and leads Naruto past the Nara clan compound and leads him up to a gate with a large swirl on it. This is the entrance to the Uzumaki clan compound. The Uzumaki clan was quite large. The grounds cover 5 acres of land. There are 4 clan houses and a fully functioning dojo surrounded by 3 training grounds. "You'll find all you need to train both your mind and body here, Naruto. Now, I need you to cut your palm and place your hand on the center of the swirl on the gate," Kisuke explained to Naruto and held out a kunai. Naruto didn't waste any time grabbing the offered kunai from Kisuke and cutting his palm. Kisuke notices that Naruto didn't so much as wince as he sliced his palm open. Naruto placed his hand on the swirl and watched as his blood was drawn into the swirl. This continued for a few moments until there was a large click and the gates opened before them. Kisuke moved forward and looked at Naruto's hand, noticing it was already healed. Must be either his Uzumaki healing or the Kyuubi's doing, he thought to himself. He placed his hand on Naruto's shoulder and led him into the clan grounds. The gate closed behind them with an audible boom. Naruto took his first look at what was going to be his new home. Like Kisuke described, there were 4 large houses arranged in a square. Each house looked quite large from the outside. In the center of all 4 houses was a large fountain. Water cascading down it in a swirl pattern. "What is up with all the swirl patterns I keep seeing, Kisuke?" Naruto asks, awe in his voice and on his face. The swirl is the Uzumaki clan symbol. If you notice, the Uzumaki clan swirl is white with a slight blue hue to it. Every Chunin and Jonin has a red swirl on their jackets. The reason is in remembrance of the sacrifice Uzashigakure and the Uzumaki clan. They fought off Iwa, Kiri and Kumo in the Second Ninja War and gave Kohona a fighting chance to survive the war. For 3 days and nights, they fought off the combined might of those 3 villages. Unfortunately, the village, Uzashigakure and the Uzumaki clan, were destroyed after that. "You may be the last Uzumaki," Kisuke says sadly. Naruto looked up at Kisuke in awe at hearing this. Eyes filled with tears at the loss and the realization that he may be alone. "I have you though, Kisuke," Naruto says to the solemn man. "Yes, you do, Naruto. But, I am not a true Uzumaki. I can only teach you what I am able to," Kisuke replies. "Thank you though for thinking of me as a true Uzumaki. Now, let us go into the main library and start your training. We have 2 years to train before you start the academy and I want you to be the best you can be," Kisuke says. "Hi, Kisuke-sensei," Naruto replies with excitement. "But, I don't know how to read yet. I wasn't allowed to go into the civilian school to learn." "That is okay, Naruto. I will teach you what you need to know," Kisuke replies and leads Naruto into the clan library. Chapter 5. Training begins and council fights. Naruto woke up in his bedroom. Slowly getting out of bed, he thinks over the last week. Kisuke started with teaching him how to read and write kanji. When Kisuke felt he had a grasp of the letters, the true torture began. Kisuke had Naruto write each kanji 100 times to be sure it stuck in the young boy's mind. And they had to be written perfectly. If one wasn't, Naruto found the true meaning of torture. He had to start all over. It was insane, but allowed Naruto to grasp reading a lot faster. Naruto made his way into the bathroom to get ready for the morning. He didn't know what today would bring, but he knew from Kisuke that sometime in the next few days his clan status would be released to the village. That thought scared him. Mainly because he didn't want people to treat him differently because of him being in a clan. Yeah, being treated better would be a plus, but he wanted to gain acceptance through his own actions. Kisuke taught him a lot about the history of the Uzumaki clan and how strong they were. The other thing they talked on was the Kyuubi. That was an eye-opener for Naruto. Flashback, Naruto, the Hokage mentioned you said you heard a voice tell you what to say and offer you power. Is that correct? Kisuke asks. Yes. It was a deep booming voice in my head. I don't know what or who it was, Naruto says. I believe it was the Kyuubi, Naruto. I want you to be careful when you hear its voice. It will try and use you and get you to release it from the seal. You have to have a strong resolve and never allow it out, Kisuke says. What if it gives advice to help me, Naruto asks. At those times, you will have to make your own choice. The fact that it can talk to you at a moment's notice worries me, Naruto. I'm not saying that you will give in to it, but you must be careful. I honestly wish that you hadn't been chosen for this burden, Kisuke says sadly. You have to be careful when it comes to the Kyuubi. That is the best advice I can give you. Flashback ends. Naruto stepped out of the shower and dried off. Looking in the mirror, he notices the changes in his body after only a week. A week of solid and good food helped him put on some weight. Putting the thoughts of the past out of his mind, Naruto got dressed and headed down to the kitchen. Good morning, Kisuke, Naruto says, walking into the kitchen and seeing Kisuke at the stove. Good morning, Naruto, Kisuke says as he places a plate of eggs and bacon on the table. Naruto makes a beeline for it, sits down and starts digging in. Kisuke fixes his own plate and sits down. What do we have planned for today, Naruto asks. Well, Naruto, today we will be going to face the council and afterwards we'll be doing a little test, Kisuke says. I want you to be on your best behavior today, Naruto. Allow the Hokage or me to do the majority of the speaking when it comes to the council meeting. We can't afford any mistakes. The civilian council is ruthless and power-hungry. Okay, Kisuke, Naruto says. I'll try my best and stay quiet unless asked a question. I think Kisuke starts until he hears a knock at the door. Getting up, Kisuke goes to the door and opens it. Seeing the boar Anbu there, Kisuke steps back. Kisuke-san, you and Naruto-san are required to be in the council chambers in 10 minutes, the boar Anbu says. We will be there, Anbu-san. Tell the Hokage we shall meet him there, Kisuke replies. Hi, the Anbu replies and vanishes in a shunshin. Naruto, we have to go to the Hokage tower and head to the council chambers now. Make sure you're dressed to impress, Kisuke says. I'm ready now, Kisuke, Naruto says coming up to him. Kisuke turns to see Naruto. Naruto is wearing a pale blue yukata with Uzumaki swirls on the chest above the heart and on the center of the back. I see you are indeed ready. Let us go, Kisuke says and leads Naruto out of the compound. Council chambers. Naruto and Kisuke entered the council chambers. Naruto looked around seeing the chambers for the first time. He saw the various clan heads seated to the right of a central table with 4 seats. To the left side of the room, he saw what he assumed was the civilian council members seated. Some glaring at the young boy. Naruto paid them no mind. Aburam-san, Nara-san, Yamanaka-san, Akamichi-san, Inyazuka-san, thank you for the help you gave me over the last few years, Naruto says to the clan heads bowing in respect. It would have been too troublesome to not help you, young Naruto, Shikaku Nara says sitting up straight. Any kind person would have done the same. The various clan heads all nod in agreement. Just then, the council chamber doors opened once again. The Hokage Elder Council and Hiashi Hyuga walked in and sat in their seats. I have called this meeting to acknowledge the Uzumaki clan in Konoha once again, the Hokage begins. Naruto Uzumaki, please step forward. Naruto steps forward with his head held high. Kisuke standing slightly behind him. Naruto, as the last Uzumaki in the village of Konoha, we the Ninja Clan Council, acknowledge you as the head of the Uzumaki clan, Hiashi Hyuga, says his voice low and even. I object, a fat civilian councilman shouts. There is no way that boy is from a clan. He is an orphan. We all know this because that is what we were told 6 years ago, Hokage-sama. I have the proof of his heritage here. The Ninja Clan Council has already seen the proof and voted on acknowledging young Naruto as a true Uzumaki, the Hokage says. And you will speak of young Naruto by using his name. Not boy, am I understood? The Hokage starts releasing Kai at the fat fool. Hi, the councilman replies, his face becoming pale at the oppressive feeling from the Hokage. I want to see this proof, Hokage-sama, Mibuki Haruno says. The Hokage passes 2 scrolls over to the pink-haired councilwoman. She looks over it before her face pales at the truth. Hokage-sama, it lists his mother, but not his father. Was he a bastard or the child of a rape, the woman asks. No. His father isn't listed at this time for his protection and the protection of the village. And that is all I can say on the matter, the Hokage replies. Very well. Then we of the civilian council acknowledge young Naruto as clan head of the Uzumaki clan. I wish to call for a vote to have him placed in the Kra, Mibuyuki says, a small smile on her face as she looks at the Hokage. Naruto will not be placed into the Kra unless he requests it, Quincy shouts, his eyes narrowing at the woman. I knew they would try something like this. They will try and get power from young Naruto any way they can. I wasn't there for him in the beginning because of them, I will be there for him, now Quincy thinks to himself. Who are you, Mibuyuki asks. I am Quincy Uzumaki. Naruto's trainer and guardian, Quincy calmly replies. Since you are in Uzumaki then you can be placed in the Kra instead, Mibuyuki says. No. I am not a true Uzumaki. I was adopted into the clan a long time ago. I have no Uzumaki blood in me, Quincy replies, a smug smile on his face. We are getting off topic, Hokage-sama, Homura Midokado says. Since young Naruto is too young to be on the council, he must choose someone to be his voice. Someone who will protect his interests. That is quite true. Naruto, you have your first choice as a clan head. You must choose a person to be your voice on this council until you are of age. This person will fill you in on important matters and how they voted in that matter, the Hokage says. I already know who I want to represent me, Hokage-sama, Naruto says confidently. Really? That is surprising. Who have you chosen, Hiashi Hyuga asks. I choose Shikaku Nara as my voice. I feel he would be the best person to act as my voice and vote in the best way, Naruto says. Troublesome. But, I accept this responsibility, Uzumaki-san, Shikaku says. Well, if no one else has anything to bring to the council's attention, the Hokage says, pausing for a moment to give anyone a chance to interrupt him. When no one does, he continues, I call for this meeting to close for now. Uzumaki training grounds. After leaving the Hokage tower, Naruto and Quincy went back to the Uzumaki grounds. Naruto changed into some training clothes. Lightweight shorts and t-shirt. Quincy comes out of the dojo carrying something. Naruto, it is time for the test. You must take this seriously and remain calm at all times, Quincy tells Naruto. Naruto steps before Quincy, scared and excited. Quincy pulls a bone white bow out of the canvas bag he's holding. It has no string on it, but has 3 Uzumaki swirls in the center and a dragon head at each tip. This is a Quincy's bow. You'll notice it does not have a string, and I did not bring any arrows. I want you to carefully pick it up, Naruto. If you are a Quincy, we will notice immediately, Quincy says sternly. Naruto cautiously picks up the bow. Immediately he feels a surge of power running through his body. He watches in amazement as a blue string links the 2 dragon mouths at the tips of the bow. He looks up at Quincy and sees shock and surprise in his eyes. Naruto, you are a Quincy. Place the bow down for now while I explain your power, Quincy says. Naruto places the bow down on the canvas bag, watching as the blue string slowly fades into nothing. Naruto, what can you tell me about chakra, Quincy asks. Well, from what you told me, chakra is made up of physical energy and spiritual energy. A ninja balances this, and it allows them to use chakra in jutsus and techniques, Naruto replies. A person increases their physical energy through training the body and their spiritual energy through challenging the mind and studying. Textbook answer. Now on to your power. Your Quincy power comes from the spiritual aspect of chakra. However, unlike a ninja, you don't get it from intelligence, so to speak, Quincy says. What do you mean, Naruto asks. Their Quincy powers allow you to constantly draw spiritual energy from around you. Every life force from the smallest plant to the tallest mountain has chakra in it. You are able to draw this energy naturally, Quincy says. Wow. Then I'll be an amazing ninja, Naruto says excitedly. Yes, you will, Naruto. However, you must learn how to sense spiritual energy because it is possible for you to draw it from someone who is on the brink of death and kill them without realizing it. I will teach you the concept of how to do this, but it is up to you to actually succeed, Quincy says. I will succeed, Quincy-sensei, Naruto shouts. Then let us begin, Quincy says. Chapter 6. The results of training. Naruto stood in the middle of the training grounds breathing heavily. Sweat pouring off his body, a glowing blue bow fading from the wrist of his left hand. I did it finally, he thought to himself. 2 years of intense training has resulted in this. I can finally manifest my own bow. Naruto walked towards the main house to clean up. After 2 years he's changed a lot. He stands at 4'3" and weighs in a little over 70 pounds. He isn't muscular, but has the body of a runner, sleek and quick. The training he went through could only be described as hell. Quincy made sure that Naruto knew how to be fast and agile. Yet, at the same time, as silent as a small breeze. Iski pounded the importance of a ninja into Naruto over and over, making Naruto walk on a rickety walkway that creaked at the slightest movement. Every time Naruto made a noise, Kiski would throw a weighted ball at Naruto, forcing him to either dodge or take the hit. Once Naruto learned how to walk silently, Kiski made it harder by making Naruto carry weights with him and even made Naruto wear bells. Then Kiski had Naruto infiltrate the Anbu headquarters, being silent and not being seen. His goal was to steal the mask of the head Anbu dragon. It took Naruto over 3 months to learn the patterns of the Anbu to be able to pull that one off. That training may have been brutal, but to Naruto, the hardest training came from learning to meditate properly and sense out spiritual energy and learn how he can draw it in or stop its flow. Naruto was so used to be constantly on the move that learning how to sit still was a chore. But, eventually he did it. Naruto learned a lot from Kiski. He learned that knowledge is essential to a ninja. You don't give knowledge away easily. One benefit from learning to meditate, Kiski and Naruto found out that Naruto was somewhat of a sensor. He could detect people around him who were using chakra. However, they found out that if someone knew how to suppress their chakra, Naruto couldn't sense them. Kiski told Naruto not to worry about that aspect for now. At given time, his sensory skills could improve with age and experience. Kiski also taught Naruto the importance of teamwork and how to work with anyone. Naruto learned to put aside feelings to focus on a task, but also learned that abandoning a teammate was something one should never do. As Naruto stepped into the shower, he had to chuckle at the other important events of the last 2 years. Shikaku Nara would probably describe the last 2 years as extremely troublesome. The Nara head had his hands full in council meetings, constantly fighting the civilian council and the Hyuga head to protect the Uzumaki clan and Naruto. Both the civilian council and Hyuga head tried multiple times to either gain access to the Uzumaki clan grounds or to take away Naruto's rights as clan head. Shikaku, with the help of his former teammates, Inoichi Yamanaka and Choza Akimichi, fought off the advances of the council. It finally came to a head at the last council meeting. Naruto actually was forced to be there for that one. Flashback 3 weeks ago. Council chambers. Naruto walked into the council chambers to a wall of noise. Council members yelling back and forth over one another. He couldn't make heads or tails of it. He made his way over to his seat beside Shikaku Nara. "Hello, Nara-san. How are you today? I hope you haven't had a troublesome day," Naruto says as he sits down. "It has been quite troublesome today, Uzumaki-san." "Why did you choose me to be your voice?" Shikaku asks lazily. "Because out of everyone here, you have the foreknowledge to stop any greedy attempts at the Uzumaki clan, and I trust you with my life," Naruto replies. Hearing Naruto's reply, Shikaku's eyes widen a bit and he nods in respect at the young clan head. "Sit down now," the Hokage yells. "This is the council chambers. Not a backyard brawl. Either compose yourselves like council members or I will dispose of you all and find others to fill your spots." The chambers quiet immediately. "Now, why has this council been called?" "We weren't supposed to meet until next week," the Hokage asks. "We asked for this meeting to pass a law and set up a few arranged marriages," Mibukki Haruno says, looking over at Naruto with a smug smile. "What is this law and what arranged marriages?" the Hokage asks. "The law we'd like to pass is this, Hokage-sama. We'd like to pass a law stating that clans that are the cause of destruction of public property must pay for that property out of their clan accounts. If they do not have the money, then they will have to pay by giving up land or clan scrolls," Hiashi Hyuga says. "And pray tell what clan has caused destruction to public property?" the Hokage asks, already having an idea of the answer. "Why, the Uzumaki clan, Hokage-sama," Hiashi replies. "When did this happen?" the Hokage asks. 8 years ago, Mibukki replies. "The Uzumaki clan denies any allegations on that matter," Shikaku shouts. "It wasn't until recently that this council even acknowledged that the Uzumaki clan was in Kahona. Therefore, the Uzumaki clan cannot be held responsible for an incident that occurred before this council's ruling." "Nara-san makes a good point," Hamura Midokado says. "Besides, what event are you talking about and why are you trying to lay blame at the Uzumaki's feet?" "Why, the Kyuubi attack, Councilman Midokado," Mibukki smugly replies. "That was an event that no one had a hand in it. It is much like a storm on the sea. The Kyuubi attack came out of nowhere. No one could have predicted it or was responsible for it," Inoichi Yamanaka says. "But he's the demon," shouts a councilwoman. Before anyone can do anything, an Anbu appears out of nowhere and takes her head off with a swift slice of his blade and vanishes with the body. Now that the trash has been taken care of, does anyone want to try that again? This law is complete bull. The audacity of this council to even propose such a law is outrageous. And remember, my law is still in effect, the Hokage calmly says while eyeing each and every civilian council member. But Hokage Mibukki starts to say until the Hokage's eyes meets hers and she falls silent. "All those opposed to this proposed law?" the Hokage asks. "The Yamanaka clan opposes," Inoichi says. "The Nara clan opposes," Shikaku says. The Akamichi clan opposes, Choza says. The Inyazuka clan opposes, Tsume says. The Aburam clan opposes, Shibi says. The Uzumaki clan opposes, Naruto says. I, Danzo Shimura oppose this, Danzo says. I, Himura Midokado oppose this, Himura says. I, Kaharu Udatane oppose this, Kaharu says. I, Hiruzen Sarutobi the third Hokage oppose this, Hiruzen says. That is more than enough to oppose this law. It can now go into the trash where it belongs. The civilian council members and Hiashi Hyuga all sit down grumbling quietly. Now, onto the next matter before us. You mentioned a few arranged marriages, correct? The Hokage asks. Yes, Hokage-sama. I have here a proposal to the Uzumaki clan to marry my daughter, Hinata, and to marry Councilwoman Haruno's daughter, Sakura. This contract states that when Naruto reaches the age of 16, he will marry both girls, Hiashi says. Hyuga-san, may I see the contract? Shikaku asks politely. Hiashi hands the contract over to the Nara clan head without a thought. Shikaku starts reading through it quickly. After a few moments, he gasps and glares at both Mibuki and Hiashi. Hyuga-san, Haruno-san, is it your intention to deceive the Uzumaki clan? Shikaku asks coldly. I have no idea what you mean, Nara-san, Hiashi replies. Really, Hyuga-san? Then tell me why it says in this contract that until Naruto marries the two young ladies, that he will give all political power over to the Hyuga clan and to Haruno-san. Or why it says that he would live with the Hyuga and have a seal placed on him, Shikaku asks angrily. What the hell, the other clan heads, Hokage and Elder Council shout at the same time. I can tell you right now, the Uzumaki clan will never sign this contract, Hiashi team, Naruto shouts. And I can tell you that the Nara clan stands behind the Uzumaki clan in its decision, Shikaku says standing up. The other clan heads stand adding their support to Naruto and Shikaku. Then I withdraw the proposal, Hiashi says, holding his hand out for the contract. Instead of handing the contract to Hiashi, Shikaku hands it to the Hokage. I think I will keep this for now, the Hokage says glaring at Hiashi. Hiashi schools his features and calmly sits down. Flashback end. Of course that didn't stop the Hyuga clan head, Councilwoman Haruno or even Danzo Shimura from trying to gain access to the Uzumaki clan grounds. Over the last 2 years all three had sent many ninjas to try and break into the Uzumaki grounds. All they had to show for it was various dead ninja or ninja with no mind left. The Uzumaki clan seals protecting the ground stopped them every time. Naruto stepped out of the shower and got dressed. Heading downstairs to the kitchen, he thought on what he learned about Kiski. That had been a bombshell and an eye-opener for both him and the Hokage. Flashback 1 year ago, Naruto was sneaking up behind Kiski. He slowly and quietly drew a kunai and ran forward. He leapt into the air and came down leading with the kunai. The kunai cut through the back of Kiski's shirt, exposing the man's back to Naruto. As Naruto stood back up and before Kiski could move, Naruto noticed seals covering the man's back. What are all those seals, Kiski-sensei? Naruto asks. I didn't mean for you to discover that secret so soon, Naruto. I think it would be best if we talked with the Hokage present so he can hear this too. It's something I had planned on telling you when you were older. However, since you discovered it, I best tell you now or you'd never give up until you found the answer, Kiski says. He goes over to Naruto and places a hand on his shoulder. They both vanish in a shunshin appearing outside the Hokage's office. Kiski knocks on the door and hears the Hokage say, come in. They both walk in and Kiski points Naruto to a seat. Naruto sits down, confusion on his face. Kiski, Naruto, to what do I owe the pleasure? The Hokage asks. Hokage-sama, I must ask that you clear the room. I have something that I must tell both you and Naruto, Kiski says. The Hokage makes a motion with his hand and the Anbu appear and walk out without a question. Kiski goes through some hand signs and shouts, Uzumaki sealing technique. Room of secrets. There is a great boom as the jutsu goes off. There now. We can talk without anyone listening in, Kiski says calmly as he sits down. I have a very dark secret to tell you both. I was only to tell the secret if Naruto found out or if I deemed him ready for the secret. Naruto, Hokage-sama, the truth is, I am not a flesh and blood human. I am the culmination of Uzumaki sealing techniques. I was created over 200 years ago by an Uzumaki named Kichuchi Uzumaki. I was made for one purpose. To protect the Uzumaki clan and to train those who had their Quincy powers awakened. Sarutobi and Naruto's eyes both widen in shock at this. What? How can that be? The Hokage asks confused. I don't know how I was made. I just know why I was made, Hokage-sama. I don't even know if I can truly die. I've seen so much of this world. I have seen friends and people I consider family slowly die of age while I stayed the same, Kiski says sadly. When young Naruto passed the test a year ago, I found purpose again. I found someone to train in the Uzumaki arts once again. I haven't started training him in sealing yet, but when he is ready, I will. I will teach Naruto everything I can for as long as I can. The three spent a few hours talking about what this all meant and how it would affect Naruto as he grew. Flashback ends. Naruto walked into the kitchen and saw Quincy setting the table for dinner. Over the last 2 years, Naruto has come to see Quincy as more of an older brother than his protector and trainer. Naruto helps him with dinner and the two dig in. "So, Naruto, you ready for tomorrow?" Quincy asks. "Yeah, I'm ready, Quincy-sensei. I have studied as much as I can and I plan on being in the middle of the class. This way I can hide my abilities and gather as much information on everyone in the class," Naruto replies. "Very astute of you, Naruto. Thinking calmly and knowing not to show off shows how much you have changed over the last 2 years. I'm proud of you," Quincy says. "They won't know what hit them when I start," Naruto says, chuckling evilly. "No pranking them too much, Naruto. You have to remember the Anbu is still mad at you for gluing their masks to their faces and dyeing their uniforms hot pink," Quincy says, laughing merrily at the memory. "Don't worry too much, sensei. I'll be on my toes to follow the rules," Naruto replies. The two spend the rest of the evening talking and laughing. When Naruto gets ready for bed, he takes one last look at the moon and thinks, tomorrow will be the start of the real training. I must not allow anyone to know what I truly can do. And with that final thought, he crawls into bed and falls asleep. Chapter 7. School Days. Naruto woke up hearing his alarm going off. Groggily he climbed out of bed and made his way to the bathroom for his morning ritual. As the warm water of the shower ran over him, he thought on the information Quincy made him gather on who would be in his class at the Ninja Academy. With Quincy's help, Naruto felt he had a general idea on each person's personality. Sasuke Uchiha, a 8-year-old boy. He stands at 4'1" in height. Weighs in at 63 pounds. Has black eyes and black hair. Has the normal Uchiha smugness. Thinks he's better than everyone around him. Has an older brother, Itachi, who was an Anbu captain until he went crazy one night and wiped out the Uchiha clan. All but Sasuke, that is. Hinata Hyuga, the Hyuga heiress. She stands at 3'8" in height. Weighs 60 pounds. Has white pupil-less eyes. Is extremely shy and timid. Possibly being abused by her father. Would be a great person once she breaks out of her shell. Sakura Haruno, daughter of the civilian councilwoman, Mippuki. Has pink hair just like her mother. Stands in at 3'5" and weighs only 40 pounds. Can get very loud when she's angry or annoyed by something. Probably won't focus on being a ninja until her attitude changes. Shikamaru Nara, the Nara heir. He is 4'4" in height and weighs 65 pounds. Has black hair and brown eyes. Probably as lazy as his father and sees anything as troublesome. Most likely just as smart as his father too. Is friends with the Akimichi heir. Would make a great strategist. Hiba Inuzuka, not the Inuzuka heir. His older sister, Hana, is. He stands at 4'6" in height and weighs 67 pounds. Hasn't received the trademark tattoos under his eyes yet, so he doesn't have his nin dog companion yet. Seems to be brash and headstrong. Will become a strong ninja as long as he learns to control his need to show off and try to be the alpha. Ino Yamanaka, the Yamanaka heiress. She is 3'7" and weighs 44 pounds. Has long blonde hair. Is friends with Sakura. Seems to focus more on her looks than on trying to train as a ninja. Would make a great ninja once she learns looks aren't everything. Shino Aburam, the Aburam heir. He stands at 4'5" in height. Don't know his weight. Has dark brown hair and constantly wears sunglasses. Has a colony of insects housed in his body. Is extremely quiet. Hardly talks. Like his father, probably uses logic more than anything. Joji Akimichi, the Akimichi heir. He stands at 3'9" in height and weighs 110 pounds. Has light brown hair. He is not fat. Never call an Akimichi fat unless you wish for death. Has an outgoing personality, though is rejected because of his weight. Is friends with the Nara heir. Stepping out of the shower and getting dressed, Naruto is excited. I can't wait to see just how things go. This graduating class will be quite strong. Mostly made up of clan heirs and a few promising civilians. It's going to be an interesting 4 years, he thinks to himself. He looks at himself in the mirror, making sure everything was in its proper place. He was wearing dark blue pants with red tape holding the cuffs around his ankles, a white long-sleeved shirt with a light blue tinge to it, and a Uzumaki swirl on the back and black ninja boots. He had a thigh holster on his right thigh holding kunai and a hip holster holding various other ninja tools. Looking at the clock, Naruto rushes downstairs to the kitchen. He chows down a bowl of cereal and rushes out the door. Quincy is walking into the clan compound when he sees Naruto coming out the front door of the main house. Hey Naruto. What's the rush? You've got plenty of time to make it to the academy, Quincy says. What? But my clock said I only had 5 minutes to make it, Naruto stammers confusedly. Hahaha. I set your clock ahead an hour, Quincy says, chuckling. It was payback for that time you dyed my hair green and put icy hot in all my underwear. Naruto grumbles at this, but he starts chuckling at the memory of Quincy hopping around howling in pain because of his little prank. Well, you shouldn't have taken ramen away from me, Kiski-sensei. You know that the Ichirakus fed me ramen when they could. Their little ramen stand never made a lot of money, so when they gave me ramen, it was out of the kindness of their hearts, Naruto tells Kiski. Hi. I know, Naruto. But, you can't eat ramen all the time. Everything in moderation is better for you, Kiski says. Let's go, Naruto. I'll walk with you to the academy. Kiski and Naruto start walking to the academy. The whole way there, some civilians were looking at Naruto with contempt and hatred in their eyes. Others were looking at him with respect and awe. What a bunch of hypocrites. Once they found out about my clan status, it was Uzumaki-sama this and Uzumaki-sama that. I will show them by making my own name. They will respect me for me, Naruto thinks to himself. Ignore them, Naruto. They aren't worth your time, Kiski says. In time they will come to realize their mistakes and see you for you. I know, sensei. It's just I don't like how quickly they changed once my clan status was announced, Naruto replies. Kiski points out the academy to Naruto. Naruto comes out of his funk as they near the academy. Milling around outside the academy are many parents with their children. Naruto sees that the civilians and clans are in separate areas. Just to be outside the norm, Naruto decides to walk over to the civilians. He sees Mibuyuki Haruno with her daughter and decides to at least be polite. Good morning, Haruno-san. How are you doing today? Naruto asks joyfully. Oh, hello Uzumaki-sama. I'm doing quite well this morning. I'm here to drop off my daughter, Sakura. Sakura, this is Naruto Uzumaki. Head of the Uzumaki clan and will most likely be in your class, Mibuyuki says with a smile plastered on her face. Hello, Uzumaki-sama. My name is Sakura Haruno, Sakura says meekly. Call me Naruto, Sakura-san. I'm not one for formalities, and I'd rather be called Naruto by my friends, Naruto says with a smile. Mibuyuki's smile widens as she hears this. Maybe Sakura can get the boy to like her and marry her. Then, we can kill the demon off and take over the Uzumaki clan and be more powerful, Mibuyuki thinks to herself. She is brought out of her thoughts when Shikaku Nara, Choza Akimichi, Inachi Yamanaka and Tsumin Yuzuka come over with their children. Good morning, Uzumaki-san, Haruno-san. How are you both doing today? Tsumin Yuzuka asks. Good morning, Inuzuka-san, Nara-san, Akimichi-san, Yamanaka-san. I'm doing quite well. Can't wait for class to start and see what the next 4 years will be like, Naruto replies. Good morning to you all as well. I'm doing good this morning, Mibuyuki says. Uzumaki-san, I wanted to introduce you to my pup, Kiba. He may be a bit on the rough side, but I'm proud of him, Tsum says. Kiba, this is young Naruto Uzumaki. We've talked about him a few times at home. Hello, Naruto-san, Kiba says stepping forward to shake Naruto's hand. I'm going to be a great ninja like my mother and father. I have no doubt you will bring honor to the Inuzuka clan, Kiba-san, Naruto replies. Can you be less troublesome, Uzumaki-san, Shikaku says lazily. This is my son, Shikamaru. Troublesome. Hello Naruto-san, Shikamaru says, just as lazily as his father. Hello, Shikamaru-san, Naruto replies. Before any more introductions could commence, they all heard the bell ring, signaling that it was time to get to their class. Naruto walked in with the others, waving goodbye to the clan heads and Kiski. Making his way to room 128, Naruto looks for a seat. Seeing an empty one in the back, he makes his way to it. Hello class. My name is Iruka Yamino, and I will be your teacher for the next 4 years. I will teach you everything you need to know to survive in the ninja world, Iruka Yamino says. He proceeds to take roll call. Okay, everyone is here. Now, I would like everyone to follow me outside to the training grounds. We will have a bit of fun, Iruka says. The class all follow him out to the training grounds. Alright. Who here can do a jutsu, Iruka asks. Immediately several hands go up. Sasuke Uchiha, Choji Akimichi, Shikamaru Nara, Hinata Hyuga and Naruto all raise their hands. Good. Now one at a time, come forward and do your jutsu, Iruka says. Sasuke steps forward and runs through some hand signs and shouts Kaiten. Kankakik no jutsu, fire release. Great fireball technique. A 6-foot fireball is shot out of Sasuke's mouth. Everyone is surprised and as the technique dissipates, all of the girls in the class except for Hinata Hyuga all let out a fangirl squeal. Very good, Sasuke. Please step back so the next person can go, Iruka says. Choji Akimichi steps forward after Sasuke walks away. He goes through some hand signs and shouts, Buben Baika no Jutsu, partial multi-size technique. His arms grow 3 times their normal size. Choji holds the jutsu for a few moments, then releases it returning to normal size. He pulls out a bag of chips and starts eating them. Very good, Choji. Really good control there. So, who's next, Iruka asks. Shikamaru Nara steps forward with a mumbled troublesome. He goes through some hand signs and says, Kajime no Jutsu, shadow imitation technique. His shadow stretches until it connects with Iruka's. Shikamaru holds it for a minute, then releases the jutsu. "Good job, Shikamaru," Iruka says. Shikamaru nods and walks off with another mumble troublesome. Next, Iruka says. Hinata Hyuga shyly walks forward. Pointer fingers poking each other in front of her. "Iruka-sensei, I will need a training dummy for my jutsu," Hinata meekly says. Iruka nods at her and goes to grab a training dummy for her. He places it down in front of her. Hinata whispers Byakugan and the veins around her eyes pop out and her eyes become even more white. She then yells, "Haki Sanjgni Shm, A trigrams 32 palms." Her hands become a blur to the academy students as she strikes the training dummy. In seconds it is over. She stands in front of the training dummy breathing heavily. "Well done, Hinata. You were quite fast in your strikes. Thank you for showing one of your clan's techniques," Iruka says with praise. "Okay, that leaves Naruto. Come forward, Naruto, and show your jutsu." Naruto steps forward giving Hinata a slight nod as she passes him. "Iruka-sensei, I don't think you'd qualify this as a jutsu. But it is a clan technique," Naruto says. Iruka nods for Naruto to continue. Naruto stands in the middle of the training ground and grips his left wrist with his right hand. He doesn't mutter anything, but everyone can feel a buildup of something. Suddenly a blue energy shoots out of his wrist forming a bow. "This is all I can do for now, Iruka-sensei," Naruto says as he deactivates the bow. "Very good, Naruto. And thank you for showing a clan technique," Iruka says. Naruto walks back to the rest of the academy students. Sasuke steps in front of Naruto preventing him from passing. "Teach me that technique, dope," the Uchiha says smugly. "No. It is a clan technique and besides, you would never be able to learn it," Naruto says sternly. "How do you know, dope?" "I am an Uchiha. We can learn all jutsu," Sasuke says. "Then teach me the Sharingan," Naruto tells him. "That's impossible. You aren't an Uchiha. You need to have the blood of an Uchiha to awaken the Sharingan," Sasuke yells. "Then, there is your answer. You can't learn my technique because you aren't an Uzumaki," Naruto says as he walks away. Sasuke stares at Naruto's back seething in anger. "I will get that power from you, dope. You will teach it to me. I need power so I can kill him," he thinks to himself. The rest of the class passes quickly for everyone. As Naruto heads home, he thinks to himself. "It's going to be a long 4 years if the Uchiha continues to act that way. At least I met some decent and interesting people. I will need to keep an eye on the Uchiha. I don't trust him and who knows what he will try to do to me." Chapter 8. The Woes of Naruto Uzumaki Part 1. It's been 4 years, Naruto thinks to himself as he makes his way to the Ninja Academy. 4 years of dealing with the looks, the sneers, the sabotage. 4 years of dealing with the Uchiha. Once I got the basics of the Uzumaki clan Taijutsu down and beat Sasuke, he's been demanding I fight him every day. It's been a chore to ignore the Uchiha. At least when team placements occur, I shouldn't be on the Uchiha's team. I've made sure I'm in the middle of the class just so I'm not placed on his team. Naruto is pulled out of his musings as he arrives at the Ninja Academy. He sees Iruka Yamino standing outside. "Good morning, Iruka-sensei," Naruto says as he walks up to Iruka. "Good morning, Naruto. Ready to graduate and be on a team?" Iruka asks. "Yeah, I've been ready with all the training Kisuke-sensei puts me through," Naruto says with a smile. Naruto has grown so much over the last 4 years, Iruka thinks to himself. I'm amazed that he doesn't let his burden slow him down any. He'll make a great ninja. "Well, sensei, I'm going to head into the class and wait for everyone," Naruto says. "Okay, Naruto. I'll meet you in there in a while," Iruka replies. Academy Room 128. Naruto walks into the classroom and sees that he's the first one there. He goes and sits in his normal seat at the back of the room. He now stands at 5'3", one of the tallest in the class. He weighs 107 pounds. He still has a sleek runner's body. 4 years of good food and training helped him grow strong. Kisuke-sensei was a slave driver the last 4 years. He made sure I'd be prepared for ninja life. Learning the basics of sealing so I can make my own storage scrolls has been invaluable to me. And teaching me to harness my Quincy powers will be a major trump card in a fight. Learning to manifest arrows along with the bow took me over a year. At least now I'm able to shoot on the run, Naruto thinks to himself. Learning the speed technique, Harinkeaku, took me the longest. 2.5 years on that one technique, and learning to fire arrows accurately while using blunt took a lot of effort. But for now, I can only use Harinkeaku for short bursts. What was surprising to me is the fact that low-level jutsu are out of my range. Too much chakra and not enough control. Kisuke-sensei actually had to beg Hokage to be able to teach me the Shadow Clone Jutsu. It'll allow me to pass and give me a trump card where numbers are needed. Naruto pulls out a beginner's sealing book from his hip pouch and begins to read it. He's soon engrossed into the book and doesn't notice it when the other academy students start walking in. "Hello, Naruto-san," Shino Obram says as he sits down next to Naruto. Shino stands at 5'2" and wears a long gray coat with a high collar over black ninja pants and black ninja sandals. You can't see much of his face due to the high collar and the black sunglasses he wears all the time. "Hello, Shino-san," Naruto says in reply. "Are you ready to graduate?" "Yes. And I have a logical idea of team placements for the clan heirs," Shino says. "Really?" Naruto asks. "Do tell." "Well, we'll start with me. I think that I would be placed on a team with Kiba Inuzuka and Hinata Hyuga to make a tracking team," Shino says. "That would make sense," Naruto calmly replies. "Next we have Ino Yamanaka, Choji Akimichi and Shikamaru Nara for a capture and interrogation squad," Shino says. "Again, that makes sense. That would leave Sasuke Uchiha, me and I'd assume a civilian," Naruto states. "Yes. To make a heavy hitter squad. It does make the most sense, Naruto-san," Shino says. "It'll suck, but I can make that work," Naruto replies. "I'll be dealing with the Uchiha trying to learn techniques from me. Makes me glad that Kisuke-sensei put a seal on me to stop the Sharingan from copying any techniques I do. That is quite an ace to have, Naruto-san," says Shikamaru as he sits on the other side of Naruto. "Do you think Kisuke-sen would find it troublesome to apply the seal to me?" "No. I don't think he'd mind doing that for my friends, Shikamaru," Naruto replies. Before the three friends can continue talking, they hear a loud rumbling. "Oh, dear, here come the fangirls," they think at the same time. They watch with amusement as a horde of civilian academy girls all try to cram through the narrow opening of the door to the classroom. "I think it's a record," Naruto states in amusement. "It may be, Naruto-san. They are all so troublesome," Shikamaru says as he places his head down on the desk. "There they go. This has to be a record fangirl pilup," Naruto says laughing as the horde of fangirls all tumble forward in a huge pile of shrieks and screams. Iruka walks in after them and just shakes his head at the spectacle. "Everyone get into your seats," Iruka says quietly. The whole class scrambles for seats afraid of the mild-mannered teacher. Iruka's big head jutsu was famous for getting even the most unruly class to settle down. "Okay, welcome to the last day of class everyone. Here soon, we will be going through the graduating exams. Those that pass will move on to be ninja. Those that fail, I wish you all good luck next time and don't give up." Everyone hangs on his words drawing inspiration from them. "Please don't start until I tell you to," Iruka states as he passes out the written exam. Once done, he goes back to the front of the class. "You all have 30 minutes to complete the exam. You may begin," Iruka says. With a rustle of paper, the students begin the exam. Iruka keeps a keen eye out for anyone cheating. 30 minutes later, time is up. "Leave your exam on your desk and follow me outside for the physical part of the exam," Iruka says. The class gets up and heads out of the classroom. Iruka follows after them, giving a subtle nod to the back corner of the room. As he closes the door behind him, an Anbu appears from the corner of the room and gathers up the test papers. The Anbu sits at Iruka's desk and starts grading the papers. "What did I do to deserve this?" the Anbu thinks to himself. "Hokage-sama gave me this mission and now I have to grade academy papers." Outside training ground, Iruka started the civilian students on the throwing and accuracy portion of the exam. None of them are noteworthy until Sakura Haruno steps up. Sakura stands at 4'7" and weighs 70 pounds. Nothing has changed in the last 4 years. She doesn't take ninja training seriously, Naruto thinks to himself as Sakura takes aim. She throws the kunai and shuriken, hitting 7 out of 10 with the kunai and 8 out of 10 with the shuriken. "Did you see that, Sasuke-kun?" she asks squealing. Sasuke doesn't even look in her direction. "Very good, Sakura," Iruka says as he marks her score down. "Ino Yamanaka, you're next." Ino Yamanaka. Another fangirl. She stands at 4'8" and weighs 72 pounds. Is constantly fighting with Sakura for Sasuke's attention. She doesn't take training seriously either, Naruto thinks as Ino Yamanaka steps forward and throws the shuriken and kunai. She hits 8 out of 10 with each. "Yes. I did better than you, forehead. Now Sasuke will love me," Ino says triumphantly. She runs back to the group of students and stands next to Sasuke. "Did you see that, Sasuke-kun?" she asks. Sasuke looks at her, raising her hopes. He huffs and turns his back to her. "He's so cool," Ino thinks to herself. "Next is Hinata Hyuga," Iruka says loudly. "This will be interesting." Hinata has come a long way in 4 years. Still quiet and shy, but shows a lot of skill. She stands at 5'0" and weighs 85 pounds. She is quite strong in taijutsu. Able to hold her own against even Sasuke, Naruto thinks as Hinata steps forward and throws the kunai and shuriken, hitting 9 out of 10 targets with them both. "Very good, Hinata," Iruka says proudly. Next up is Shikamaru Nara. "Good job, Hinata," Naruto says as Hinata joins the crowd of students. "Ah, thank you, Naruto-kun," Hinata says shyly as a blush forms on her face. Shikamaru Nara. Stands 5'1" and weighs 98 pounds. Still as lazy as his father, but probably the smartest person in the whole academy and a great friend, Naruto thinks to himself. Troublesome, Shikamaru says as he steps forward. He throws the kunai and shuriken hitting 7 out of 10 with both. Just enough to pass. Less troublesome that way, he thinks to himself. Thank you, Shikamaru, Iruka says. Next is Choji Akimichi. Choji Akimichi stands in at 5'0" and weighs 130 pounds. A gentle soul and a fun person to hang out with, Naruto thinks as Choji steps forward. He throws the shuriken and kunai hitting 8 out of 10 targets with both. Good job, Choji, Iruka says. Next is Kiba Inuzuka. Kiba Inuzuka stands in at 5'2" and weighs 100 pounds. Still brash and hard to get along with, but is a great friend. Got his nin dog when he was 10, Akamaru. If he graduates, he'll get the Inuzuka tattoo signifying his first step into adulthood, Naruto thinks to himself as Kiba rushes forward and throws the shuriken and kunai without taking aim. He gets 6 out of 10 with the shuriken and 8 out of 10 with the kunai. Very good, Kiba, Iruka states surprised. Next is Shino Aburam. Shino steps up to the line quietly and throws the kunai and shuriken getting 9 out of 10 with each. Nice job, Shino, Iruka says. Next is Sasuke Uchiha. Thank you, sensei, Shino says quietly as he walks back to the rest of the students. Watch this dope, Sasuke says arrogantly to Naruto as he steps up to the throwing line. He throws all the kunai at once hitting 9 out of 10 targets. He then throws the shuriken and hits all 10 targets. Very well done, Sasuke, Iruka says. Naruto Uzumaki, you are next. Beat that, dope, Sasuke says as Naruto steps forward. I will, team, Naruto says with a smile. He scoops up the kunai and while looking at Sasuke, starts throwing them one at a time hitting every target. He then throws the shuriken and hits all the targets again. Naruto smiles at Sasuke. There you go. I beat your score. Sasuke grinds his teeth and glares at Naruto. Great job, Naruto, Iruka says proudly. Next up will be the Taijutsu portion of the exam. The class made their way to the sparring area of the training grounds. Iruka quickly paired up civilian student with civilian student. Needless to say, those fights were boring. Next we'll have Hinata Hyuga versus basic civilian girl cannon fodder, number 1, Iruka says. The two girls step into the sparring circle. Begin, Iruka says. It's over before anyone can turn away. Basic civilian girl cannon fodder number 1 ran at Hinata with a cry of, Sasuke-kun. Hinata sidestepped the girl and tapped her on the back of the neck, knocking her out. Winner, Hinata Hyuga, Iruka says. Next will be Ino Yamanaka versus Sakura Haruno. The two girls step into the ring and after Iruka says begin, they charge at each other. They abandon any form of taijutsu and just resort to pulling hair, scratching and biting. After a few minutes of this, Iruka steps forward and separates them. Both of you stop and go to the nurse. I'm ashamed of you both, Iruka shouts at the two girls. They walk away with their heads down. Next, we'll have Sasuke Uchiha versus Choji Akimichi. The two boys step into the ring and wait for Iruka's signal to start. Once he gives the signal, Sasuke rushes forward throwing punches and kicks in the Uchiha interceptor fist 1. Choji tries his best to block and dodge what he can. This goes on for 3 minutes before Choji trips on a rock and lands outside the ring. Winner, Sasuke Uchiha, Iruka says. Good job, Choji. You lasted 3 minutes and 15 seconds against Sasuke. Next up, we'll have Shino Aburam against Shikamaru Nara. The two boys walk into the ring. Before Iruka has a chance to say begin, Shino raises his hand. Yes, Shino, Iruka asks. Sensei, it would be unwise for me to fight Shikamaru. At this time I am integrating a new hive and taking any damage would possibly damage the delicate tunnels used by the insects of my clan, Shino says. Very well, Iruka says. Shikamaru wins. Troublesome, Shikamaru says as he goes and sits at the base of a tree. Next is Kiba Inuzuka and Naruto Uzumaki, Iruka says. Kiba rushes forward after setting Akamaru down. Naruto steps into the ring. Stay out of this, buddy. This is my fight for now. I'll take you for a long walk after this, Kiba tells Akamaru. He gets a happy bark in response. Begin, Iruka says. Kiba rushes forward using the Inuzuka clan taijutsu, the swift claw. Naruto sets himself into his taijutsu stance, the dance of the tides. Naruto dodges the right kick Kiba throws his way. Everyone watches in amazement as Naruto is all of a sudden behind Kiba throwing a punch. Kiba darts to the side barely dodging. This is going to be good, right Naruto? Kiba asks with a feral grin on his face. Yes. Out of everyone here, I think you're one of the few that can push me, Naruto replies, his grin just as wide as Kiba's. The boys rush at each other throwing punches and kicks. Punches are blocked and the kicks are dodged. They back away for a breather. This continues for 5 minutes. Finally, just as Iruka is going to call a tie, Naruto finds an opening in Kiba's defenses. He sends a punch forward and catches Kiba on the stomach. Oof, Kiba says as all the air rushes out of his lungs. Naruto capitalizes on this and gets behind Kiba placing him in a chokehold. A few moments are all it takes, and Kiba is unconscious. "Winner, Naruto," Iruka says. "Now, let's go back inside and do the jutsu portion of the exam." Classroom 128. Naruto sits in the classroom alone. Everyone else has already been called by Iruka for the jutsu portion of the exam. This sucks. They just go in random order. They should have gone in alphabetic order, Naruto thinks to himself. Then I wouldn't be the last one called. Oh, well. I'll pass and go have some ramen afterwards. "Naruto Uzumaki," Iruka calls from the door of the classroom. Naruto gets up and follows Iruka into another room. "Naruto, in order for you to pass, you have to successfully do the clone jutsu, the transformation jutsu and the substitution jutsu," Iruka tells him. "Okay, Iruka-sensei," Naruto replies. "Let's start with the transformation jutsu, Naruto," Iruka says. "Enj no jutsu, transformation jutsu," Naruto shouts. A cloud of smoke envelops him. When it clears, Iruka becomes wide-eyed. Naruto transformed into a copy of Kiski. "Very good, Naruto. It looks like you have that down pat," Iruka says. "Now do the substitution jutsu." Iruka throws a wooden kunai at Naruto. Naruto shouts Kawarimi no jutsu, substitution jutsu. Again, Naruto is surrounded by a plume of smoke. When it clears, the log that was in the corner of the room is where Naruto once stood. "Very good, Naruto," Iruka says. "Now do the clone jutsu." "I can't, Iruka-sensei. I have too much chakra to do the clone jutsu," Naruto says. "It's because of my burden. I do know another clone jutsu that I can do." "Very well, Naruto. If you know another clone jutsu and are successful, you'll pass," Iruka says. With a shout of Kage Bunshin no jutsu, shadow clone jutsu, another plume of smoke erupts around Naruto. When it clears, Iruka sees 4 Narutos standing there. "Great job, Naruto," Iruka shouts. "Here is your hit I-8. Can I have one without a cloth, Iruka-sensei?" Naruto asks. "Kiski-sensei has a cloth for it at home for me." "Here you go, Naruto. Come back in a week for team placements," Iruka says. Naruto takes the hit I-8 from Iruka and runs out of the school. He makes a fast beeline for Ichiraku ramen. Running into the stand, Naruto shouts, "Old man, I'll have 3 bowls of beef ramen and keep them coming for Kohona's newest ninja." Gucci Ichiraku peeks through the divider from the kitchen and sees Naruto. "Coming right up, Naruto," he says joyfully. 3 hours later, Naruto leaves the ramen stand with a full belly. He makes it back to the Uzumaki compound fairly quickly. "I can't believe I ate 23 bowls. Kiski-sensei will have me work this all off tomorrow," Naruto thinks to himself as he crawls into bed. Team placements are in a week and I'll see just how correct Shino was. I hope he was wrong about where I'll be placed. I can make it work, but it'll be hard with the Uchiha. With that last thought floating in his head, Naruto drifts off to sleep. Soon the boy will be in situations that will cause him to call on my power. Then the fun will begin. I'll be able to slowly influence him without him realizing it, the Kyuubi thinks to itself. Chapter 9. The Woes of Naruto Uzumaki Part 2. Naruto woke up to the sound of his alarm blaring. He shuts the evil thing off and heads for the shower. After getting dressed for the day, he heads down to the kitchen for breakfast. He sees Kiski sitting at the table eating some cereal. "Good morning, Kiski-sensei," Naruto says tiredly. "Good morning, Naruto," Kiski replies. "Any plans for today?" "I got nothing other than the normal afternoon workout," Naruto says. "Good. We have a council meeting to get to at 10 a.m. You need to be ready and on your toes," Kiski tells him. "Oh, boy. It's going to be a long day," Naruto says as he sits down to eat. After eating and cleaning the dishes, he heads back to his room to put on his clan head regalia, as Kiski calls it. It is a white yukata with dark blue accents and the Uzumaki clan swirl on the breast above the heart and on the back. Naruto summons a shadow clone without hand signs or saying the jutsu. The shadow clone proceeds to help Naruto put the yukata on. "Well, how do I look?" Naruto asks his shadow clone. "You look good, boss," the clone replies. Naruto dismisses the clone and heads downstairs. Kiski is waiting for him in his own yukata. His is a deep dark red with light blue Uzumaki swirls all over it. "You ready, Naruto?" Kiski asks. "About as ready as I'll ever be," Naruto says. They head out of the Uzumaki compound and head to the Hokage Tower. Council chambers. Naruto and Kiski walk into the council chambers and see only the other clan heads there. They both bow respectively to the clan heads and take their seats. "Good morning, Nara-san, Akamichi-san, Yamanaka-san, Aburam-san, Inyazuka-san, Hyuga-san," Naruto says to his fellow clan heads. "Good morning, Uzumaki-san," Shikaku says. "I heard you graduated from the Ninja Academy. Let me be the first to welcome you to the ninja ranks, Uzumaki-san. I have a feeling you'll become a great ninja someday." "Thank you, Nara-san," Naruto replies. Before any more conversation could happen, the council chamber doors open and the civilian council, the elder council and the Hokage all walk in. They all walked to their seats and sat down. "Good morning, everyone. I have called this meeting to talk about a few things and bring other things to this council's attention, the Hokage began. I have quite a few things to say, so please wait until I am done if you have any questions. The council looks around at each other and nods at the Hokage to continue. First things first, would Mibuki Haruno and Hiashi Hyuga step forward, the Hokage says sternly. The Hyuga clan head glances at Mibuki before calmly walking forward. Mibuki joins Hiashi in front of the Hokage and Elder Council. It has come to our attention that over the last 6 years you both have used ninja in an attempt to gain access to the Uzumaki clan grounds, Hamura Midokado says. This has caused over 80 ninja to either die or be permanently injured. The Elder Council and the Hokage have come to an agreement. Mibuki Haruno, you will no longer have the authority to use ninja without the express permission of this council in its entirety. Hiashi Hyuga, we may not be able to stop you from sending any family to attempt to gain access to the Uzumaki clan grounds, however we can stop you from using this village's ninja to do it. You also cannot use ninja without the approval of this council. And you both will pay the Uzumaki clan $14 million ryo. The two council members' eyes widen in shock. This is outrageous. The Hyuga clan will not stand for this, Hiashi Hyuga shouts. You will pay it, Hyuga-san. We have plenty of evidence to present to your Hyuga Elder Council that shows you hired these ninja in an attempt to steal a clan's secrets, the Hokage shouts. If you pulled this stunt with any of the other clans, you'd be facing the same outcome. Everyone sits there in shock and silence at the revelation of the dirty deeds. Naruto raises his hand wanting to talk. Yes, Uzumaki-san, the Hokage asks. Naruto stands up and smooths out his yukata. Honored council, Hokage-sama, Naruto begins. As the aggrieved party, I understand the punishment. However, I do have something to say. You can expect a clan like the Hyugas to pay that amount with no problem. But, you can't expect Haruno-san to be able to pay that amount all at once. I ask for some leniency in Haruno-san's case. Allow her to pay the money back at a monthly amount that would not hinder her or her family's living situation. Mibuki Haruno can only stare at the young man in shock. What is he planning, she thinks to herself. The rest of the council is nodding their heads in agreement to what Naruto has said. Uzumaki-san, you are both kind and wise for your young age, Kahari Udatane says. It shows great maturity to do something like that to someone who has wronged you. Hokage-sama, I think Uzumaki-san does make a valid point. By taking a monthly stipend from Haruno-san, we can be sure she pays back Uzumaki-san and still has enough to support her family. The Hokage nods in agreement. Very well. Haruno-san will have a monthly stipend taken from her account to pay back the Uzumaki clan. Hiashi Hyuga and Mibuki Haruno both walk back to their seats. The other clan heads glare at Hiashi as he walks by. On to our next order of business, the Hokage says. Councilman Danzo Shimura and Mibuki Haruno have a proposal for this council. I open the floor to Shimura-san. Thank you, Hokage-sama, Danzo says calmly. The proposal is to have Kisuke Uzumaki teach Uchiha-sama. To train him the way he trained young Uzumaki-san. Naruto starts to rise in protest but is stopped by both Kisuke and Shikaku. Wait, Naruto. Allow Kisuke to handle this, Shikaku whispers. Kisuke stands up and smooths out his yukata. Honorable Council, Hokage-sama, Kisuke begins. I have trained Uzumaki-sama for the last 6 years. I have trained him in everything he needed to prepare to become a ninja. Everything I have trained him in is not for anyone else other than members of the Uzumaki clan. Uchiha-sen would not be able to learn any of it. It is out of his reach because he is not of Uzumaki blood. The boy is arrogant and spoiled. All because of whom his family was. Every ninja in the village knows of the history of the Uzumaki clan. However, young Uzumaki-sama was not accorded the respect he deserved. He was shunned, abused and had multiple assassination attempts on his life. When I started training him, I had to take the time to teach him how to read and write. He was 6 years old at the time. He should have been going to the civilian school to learn the basics, but wasn't allowed. I will not train Uchiha-san. I will not train anyone who is not of Uzumaki blood. You must train Uchiha-sama, Mibuki shouts. Uzumaki-san doesn't need those techniques. Uchiha-sama does. Calm down Haruno-san, the Hokage says. Kisuke has been a loyal shinobi of this village for quite some time. He came here with Uzumaki-san's mother. In all the years he served this village, he has never taught anyone any of the Uzumaki techniques. And he will continue to hold true to that. Haruno-san, Shimura-san, this is my ruling. Kisuke Uzumaki will continue to do what he's been doing in training young Uzumaki-san. He will not be forced to train anyone, is that understood? Yes, Hokage-sama, Danzo says with a blank face. Inside he is seething in anger. I will get the Uzumaki clan techniques. What little information I have gathered on what the Uzumaki brat knows is the techniques are powerful, he thinks to himself. Shimura-san, Kisuke says to gain his attention. Please stop this root to try and gain the Uzumaki clan techniques. Otherwise the roots of the tree might wither and die. Danzo's lone eye widens slightly. He knows. How does he know? Danzo asks himself. He gives a slight nod to Kiski. Well, the next piece of business is brought to us by young Uzumaki-san, the Hokage says. I turn the floor over to you, Uzumaki-san. Thank you, Hokage-sama, Naruto says. What I have to say will shock some of you and anger others. I may be young and I may have just become a ninja, but I do care for this village. Our ninja academy sucks. What do you mean, Uzumaki-san? Shikaku Nara asks. I mean that out of the possible 15 teams of ninjas, there will only be 3 teams that pass. There are problems with the school. It needs an overhaul in how things are taught. I have here a list of things that I think should change, Naruto says. He hands a stack of copies to the Hokage, who takes one and starts passing the rest out. Hiruzen takes a look at the list. Propose changes to the Ninja Academy. Allow history to be home taught. Too much time in the classroom is taken by studying history. Demand more physical training. Too many students do not take physical training seriously. Taijutsu has at times devolved into catfights or straight-out brawls. Teach more than the standard 3 jutsu in order to graduate. More variety. Get a nutritionist to monitor the female population. Too many of the female students go on diets to make themselves pretty. Add more specialist classes. For example, Kinjutsu or Bijutsu. In the last year of class, blood the students. Give them their first kill in a controlled environment for their safety. This will weed out those who are prepared for the life of a ninja. Place Iruka Yumino as the head of the school. He is a good, unbiased teacher that could improve the school as a whole from that position. The rest of the council looks at the list and slowly mulls it over. Uzumaki-san, this is quite thought out and logical, Shibi Aburam says. Your changes do have merit. They do have merit, Uzumaki-san. However, this would put more strain on the civilian students. Civilian students tend to have less chakra than clan students, Su Inuzuka says. That is true, Inuzuka-san. However, if training is taken seriously and more chakra-intensive training is added, the chakra capacity of all the students would be increased, Naruto replies. Do you require a vote on this today, Uzumaki-san? The Hokage asks. No. I brought this up so it could be talked over, and any changes that needed to occur could happen slowly instead of all at once, Naruto says. Very well, Uzumaki-san. You have given this council much to think and talk about. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. Since there is nothing else on the agenda, I call this meeting to a close, the Hokage says. The councilors get up and exit the room. Classroom 128 a week later, aren't I? Lol. Naruto is sitting in the back of the classroom beside Shino and Shikamaru. Naruto is wearing black boots, dark blue ninja pants taped at the ankles with black tape, and a sky blue long-sleeved shirt with a Uzumaki crest on the back. He has his hide 8 tied onto his right upper arm with a red cloth. The past week has been busy for young Naruto. Iski pushed his training in preparation of becoming a ninja. Hello, class, Iruka Yumino says from the front of the room. Congratulations on graduating and becoming ninja of Kahona. I will now separate you into your teams. Teams 1 to 6 are made up of civilian cannon fodder. Team 7 will be Naruto Uzumaki, Sakura Haruno and Sasuke Uchiha, Haruka says. Your Jonin sensei will be Kakashi Haddock. Naruto bangs his head on the desk as Sakura lets out a shout of glee. Naruto hands Shino a $10 Ryo note. Thank you, Naruto-san. We'll see if I'm correct about the other teams shortly, Shino says. Team 8 will be Shino Aburam, Kiba Inuzuka and Hinata Hyuga, Haruka says. Your Jonin sensei will be Kurina Yuhi. This time Naruto hands Shino a $50 Ryo note. Well, you were 100% correct, Shino. It'll be interesting in seeing how the teams actually work in the field, Naruto says. Since Team 9 is still in the field, Team 10 will be Shikamaru Nara, Choji Akimichi and Ino Yamanaka. Your Jonin sensei will be Asuma Sarutobi, Haruka says. The classroom door opens and 2 Jonin walk in. One is a woman with red eyes and black hair. Her outfit seems to be made up of bandages. The other is a male with a beard and a cigar hanging out of his mouth. He's wearing the standard Jonin outfit. Dark colors and a tan vest. Team 8, meet me at training ground 54 in 30 minutes, the female Jonin states. She then vanishes in a plume of smoke. Team 10 meet me at training ground 23 in 30 minutes, the male Jonin lazily says as he also vanishes in a plume of smoke. Well, class, I bid you farewell and good luck, Haruka says as he leaves the classroom. Over time, various Jonin come and take the other students. Soon, it is just Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura in the classroom. Sasuke walks over to Naruto and sits down. Hey, dope, Sasuke starts. I'm out of here. I'll be on the roof if you need me, Naruto says and walks out of the classroom, leaving behind a seething Sasuke and an excited Sakura. I'm alone with Sasuke-kun. Now is my chance, Sakura thinks to herself. She walks over to Sasuke and sits down beside him. Sasuke-kun, do you want to go on a date later? Sakura asks, hopeful he'll say yes. Chan is the only response she gets. The Isuzu cool, Sakura thinks to herself with hearts in her eyes. 3 hours later, for over 3 hours, Sasuke sat staring out the window. Sakura spent that time staring at Sasuke and thinking thoughts no one should hear. "Where are our sensei and the dope?" Sasuke asks angrily. "Who cares about Naruto Baka, Sasuke? We don't need him," Sakura replies. Just then, the door to the classroom opens. They both turn to the door and see a man with silver, gravity-defying hair with his hide covering one eye and a face mask on peek into the room. "You two are late. Naruto and I have been waiting for you on the roof for over 3 hours. Get up there in 5 minutes or else," the man says lazily and vanishes in a plume of smoke. Sasuke seethes and runs out of the classroom with Sakura following. Academy roof. 5 minutes later, Sasuke and Sakura arrive on the roof and see Naruto and the man sitting on the railing. Sasuke sits down and does his normal brooding. Sakura flops to the ground next to Sasuke huffing and puffing. "Well, you both barely made it in time. I am Kakashi Haddock. I will be your Jonin sensei. I want you to introduce yourselves," Kakashi says. "What do you mean, sensei?" Sakura asks. "Really, Sakura? You don't know how to introduce yourself to someone?" Naruto asks. "I'll go first. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I like training, Kisuke-sensei, ramen and learning new things. I don't like people who judge others without knowing who they truly are and the 3 minutes you have to wait for ramen to cook. My hobbies are training in my clan's techniques and reading. My dream for the future is to see a revival of the Uzumaki clan and to be Hokage someday." "Very good, Naruto. You're next, Pinky," Kakashi says pointing at Sakura. "I'm Sakura Haruno. I mean the person I like is," she says looking at Sasuke. "My hobbies are," again looking at Sasuke. "My dreams for the future, you guessed it," looking at Sasuke while saying this. "And the things you hate?" Kakashi asks. "Naruto Baka and Ino Pig," Sakura says hatefully. "Okay. Moving on, you're up Broody," Kakashi says pointing at Sasuke. "I don't have many likes and I hate a lot of things. I don't have a dream, more of an ambition. It is to kill a certain man and revive the Uchiha clan," Sasuke says in a monotone voice. "Well, I learned a lot. Meet me at Training Ground 7 at 5 AM for your test. My suggestion is you don't eat breakfast or you'll throw it up." "Later," Kakashi says and vanishes in a plume of smoke. "See you all tomorrow," Naruto says and leaves. "Do you want to go and get something to eat, Sasuke-kun?" Sakura asks. "HN," Sasuke replies and walks off. Chapter 10. The Test and Mission Woes. Naruto woke up before his alarm went off at 4 AM. "I have got to be crazy to start this early," Naruto mumbles to himself as he stumbles into the shower. He turns on the cold water to try and wake up. He yells as the cold water hits him. He immediately turns on the hot water until he gets a comfortable temperature. Once fully clean and awake, he gets dressed and heads downstairs. "Naruto, why are you up at this awful hour?" Kisuke asks as Naruto enters the kitchen. "Got some tests to pass from my sensei. He told us to meet him at Training Ground 7 at 5 AM, Naruto grumbles as he sits down. "Who is your sensei, Naruto?" Kisuke asks. "Kakashi Haddock," Naruto replies. Kisuke looks at Naruto and starts laughing. "What's so funny, Kisuke-sensei?" Naruto asks. "Your sensei is notoriously late for everything barring an A-ranked mission. He is always at least 3 hours late for anything he sees as unimportant," Kisuke says. "Let me guess, he advised you to not eat breakfast." "How did you know that, sensei?" Naruto asks. "Remember Naruto, I was in Anbu. Kakashi was an Anbu captain. He would train Anbu recruits along with a few other people. Do not underestimate him and take what he says seriously," Kisuke says. "He values teamwork over everything, so be prepared. Your test might revolve around teamwork." "Great. We're going to fail," Naruto says slumping in his seat. "Why do you say that?" Kisuke asks. "I've got the #1 Uchiha fangirl and the breeding wonder on my team," Naruto replies. "You're doomed," Kisuke says. Training Ground 7 4:45 AM. Naruto arrived at the training ground munching on a slice of toast. Seeing no one else around, he walks to the 3 training posts in the center of the clearing. Hopping up onto the middle one, Naruto takes a look around the training ground. He sees that the clearing is fairly large. It is surrounded by forest with a small stream cutting through it. There are plenty of places to hide and attack from. This should be interesting, Naruto thinks to himself. Hopping down off the post, he goes over to the closest tree and climbs it. Finding a suitable branch to hold his weight, Naruto sat down and closed his eyes to rest up and wait for the others. 15 minutes later, Sasuke Uchiha walked to Training Ground 7 brooding the whole way. "I am an Uchiha. I need my sleep. The council will hear about this," Sasuke thinks to himself. "Good morning, Sasuke-kun," Sakura says sleepily walking into the training ground. "HN," the dark-haired boy replies. He leans up against one of the training posts and continues his normal brooding. "Where is Naruto Baka?" Sakura asks sitting down close to Sasuke. "How the hell should I know?" Sasuke replies. "He probably slept in like any sane person would do." Sakura just nods in agreement at Sasuke's response. At least it is quiet with just Sasuke and me here. Maybe he'll go out with me later, Sakura thinks to herself. When I catch him and kill him, the heart will go into the gray jar, the stomach into the green jar, the spleen into the orange jar, and the brain will go into the blue jar. I'll save his eyes to place into the glass jar so I can have them on display and see them whenever I want to, Sasuke thinks to himself. It'll be so easy once I have the power. 4 hours later. 9 a.m. Good morning my students, Kakashi says as he walks into the training ground. You're late, Sakura screams, causing Sasuke to jump into the air and hold his chest. Naruto Baka didn't even show up. He'll probably fail as a ninja, so he decided to not show up. Why are you so late, sensei? Oh, I had a black cat cross my path, so I had to take the long route to get here and I got lost 4 times. If it wasn't for a nice old lady, I'd probably still be lost, Kakashi replies. And Sakura, I've been here since before you and the team showed up, Naruto says, dropping from the tree he was in. I wanted to get here early enough to get a layout of the place. Well, since we're all here, we can begin, Kakashi says. He pulls out an alarm clock and 2 bells from a storage scroll. It is now 9 a.m. You 3 will have until noon to get one or both of these bells from me. But, sensei, there are 3 of us, Sakura says. Yup. That means one of you will fail this test. That person will be tied to one of these training posts while the rest of us eat a nice lunch. However, if you fail to get a bell before the alarm goes off, you will all be sent back to the academy. You must come at me with the intent to kill, Kakashi says. But sensei, what if we hurt you, Sakura says worriedly. BFFF. As if 3 newly made ninja could harm a jonin, Naruto says quietly. Out of all the teams that were created, only 3 have a chance of passing the test jonin give them. Now get ready, Kakashi says as he sets down the alarm and presses the button. Start now. The 3 genin run off into the forest to hide. Looks like they have hiding down pat, Kakashi thinks to himself. Now then, who is going to try for the bells first? Naruto or Sasuke? Kakashi pulls a book out of his hip pouch and starts reading it. Oh, Nada you naughty girl you, Kakashi thinks to himself giggling. He hears rustling behind him and turns to look. He sees Sasuke rush from cover. Those bells will be mine, shouts the Uchiha. Here runs a Kakashi throwing 4 kunai at him. Kakashi grabs one out of the air and uses it to block the other 3. Sasuke reaches Kakashi and throws a kick at the jonin's leg. Kakashi hops over the kick and says, so we're going to start off with Taijutsu, huh Sasuke? I would have expected brashness from someone else, but you? This is surprising. Sasuke narrows his eyes and continues to attack the jonin, throwing punches and kicks that the jonin dodges easily. Frustrated at getting nowhere, Sasuke throws down a smoke bomb and jumps back. He goes through some hand signs and shouts Kaiten. Nkakik no Jutsu, fire style. Fireball Jutsu. A large fireball shoots forward to where Kakashi was last seen. The cloud of dust and debris kicks up as the fireball impacts the ground. When the smoke and dust clears, Sasuke can see a smoldering log at the center of the impact. Substitution. Where is he? Behind me? No. Above me? No, Sasuke thinks to himself, frantically looking around for Kakashi. Below you, Kakashi says as his head reaches up through the ground and grabs Sasuke's ankle. He pulls Sasuke into the ground up to his neck with a mumbled doten. Shinjutsu no Jutsu, Earth style. Headhunter Jutsu. It is surprising that you have enough chakra to pull off the Nkakik, Sasuke. Most genin wouldn't have the ability to do so. You are quite strong, but have a lot to learn, Kakashi says as he walks away, leaving the fuming young man buried in the ground. Now to find where the other 2 are. Naruto will bear watching if what the Hokage told me is true. The fact that Kisuke trained him makes me worry a little bit, Kakashi thinks to himself. 5 minutes later, Kakashi is in a tree staring down at Sakura. Pathetic. I have been here for 3 minutes and she has yet to notice me, Kakashi thinks to himself. Oh, well. Might as well see what she can do. Kakashi jumps down out of the tree and stands in front of Sakura. Sakura jumps at the appearance of the jonin, screeching in surprise. Now Sakura, why are you all by your lonesome out here? You could have helped Naruto and Sasuke, Kakashi says. Meijin. Narakumi no Jutsu, demonic illusion. Death mirage jutsu. Sakura shrieks and faints. Kakashi shakes his head ruefully. That was my weakest ninjutsu and she fell for it. She is supposed to be one of the smartest from this year's graduating class. It can't be helped. Now, where is Naruto hiding, Kakashi thinks as he walks off, leaving Sakura. Middle of training ground 7. Kakashi appeared in the center of the training ground. He sees Sasuke still buried up to his neck where he left him. Okay. If I was Naruto, where would I be, Kakashi asked himself. Suddenly the hairs on the back of his neck stand up. Kakashi ducks in reflex and sees what appears to be 3 glowing sticks fly over his head. But the Kakashi begins. He stops when he sees 14 copies of Naruto surrounding him. Clones, huh, Naruto? I would have thought you would have figured that such an academy jutsu wouldn't work on a jonin. Kakashi walks toward one of the clones, smirking. He tries to walk through the clone to dispel the technique. He is surprised when the clone grabs him in a bear hug. Not a clone, but the real you. Very smart of you, Naruto, Kakashi says trying to escape. He sees the other clones moving in on him. What does he plan to do with illusionary clones, he asks himself. He is shocked when one of the other clones reaches forward and grabs the bells causing them to ring. Shadow clones. Impossible. A genin doesn't have the chakra to produce shadow clones, Kakashi shouts in shock. He quickly pulls off a substitution with a log. That was close. He almost had the bells there, he thinks. Kakashi-sensei, I suggest you do not underestimate me. I'll be getting the bells here soon, one of the Narutos say. Again, Kakashi's neck hair rises up. He dodges to the side and sees 3 more of the glowing sticks pass by him. What in the world is that, he asks himself. The files the Hokage gave me never said anything about this. What has Quincy been teaching him? Kakashi finds himself in a sticky situation. The clones around him throw kunai and shuriken, and from the forest from different positions, the glowing blue sticks fly at him. Kakashi dodges and weaves to the best of his ability. He finally finds an opening and throws out 6 kunai in an arc before him. His kunai strike 4 of the clones, causing them to dispel and creating an opening. Kakashi makes a break for it, knowing that he needs to get to cover for a breather. This kid is more than he seems. Quincy must have taught him every trick in the book. He's got me running and I don't want to pull my trump card. I want to see what he can really do, Kakashi thinks to himself as he reaches the forest edge. Hi sensei. Bye sensei, Naruto says from behind Kakashi as he uses Harenkaku to get close enough to grab the bells and run off. What the hell? I didn't even sense him. I'm going to have a long chat with Quincy and the Hokage about omitting information, Kakashi thinks in anger. Just then, the bell rings signaling the end of the test. Let's see if he knows what this test was truly about, Kakashi thinks as he grabs Sasuke and ties him to a post while a shadow clone of his does the same to Sakura. Sakura wakes up as the clone finishes tying her up. Well, where am I? She asks bewildered. Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno, you both failed to capture a bell before the alarm rang. Naruto retrieved both the bells before the alarm rang, so he passes. The 2 of you, however, shouldn't go back to the academy, Kakashi says. Sasuke and Sakura look up in hope. You should both quit being ninja. Neither one of you have what it takes to be a ninja, Kakashi says sternly. What? What does the dope have that I don't? I need to be a ninja to get power so I can kill him, Sasuke rants. But Sasuke-kun says is true. We deserve to be ninja more than Naruto Baka, Sakura shrieks. Naruto calmly walks over to the trio with a smile on his face. Sasuke sees him and is overcome with anger. Dope, give me your techniques. You don't deserve them. I am an Uchiha. I deserve those techniques, Sasuke shouts. That is enough from the both of you, Kakashi shouts. The 2 genin shut their mouths with an audible snap. You don't know what it is really like to be a ninja. I will give you some advice, so listen carefully. Those that abandon the mission are trash, but those that abandon their teammates are worse than trash. I will leave you here to think on that. Naruto, here is your lunch. Do not give Sasuke or Sakura any food. After you are done eating, I'll allow you to attempt the test again. Kakashi hands Naruto a large bento box and vanishes in a plume of smoke. Naruto opens the bento and sees that it is overflowing with food. He takes a rice ball out and takes a bite of it. As he's chewing, he hears both Sasuke's and Sakura's stomach growl. Sighing, he makes 2 shadow clones without any hand signs or saying the jutsu. The 2 shadow clones grab a rice bowl each and approach the 2 tied to the posts. Here. You both need your strength if we're going to pass this test, Naruto says as his shadow clones raise the rice balls up to their mouths. Why are you doing this, dope? Sasuke asks. Because we need to work as a team. Didn't you figure it out? This whole test is about teamwork. I knew from the beginning that neither of you would work with me. So, I used my skills to get the bells, Naruto replies. The 2 genin think on what Naruto said and take a bite of the rice ball. As they're chewing, a plume of smoke erupts in front of them and the sky darkens. When the smoke clears, they see Kakashi standing there glaring at them. What did I tell you? Kakashi shouts. I told you not to feed them and you disobeyed my orders. Well, of course, sensei. They need their strength in order to fight. I knew what this test was about from the get-go. In Kahona, teamwork is everything. It is why our village is one of if not the strongest ninja village around, Naruto calmly states. Oh. Well then you better be prepared for the consequences of your actions, Kakashi says. The 3 genin all nod in response. Very well then, I have only this to say. You pass. What? We pass, Sakura says as Naruto's shadow clone cuts her and Sasuke loose. Yes. Naruto hit the nail on the head. This whole test was about teamwork. Naruto knew enough about your personalities to know that no matter what he tried to do, neither one of you would work with him. He used his own version of teamwork to get the bells from me. Starting tomorrow, Team 7 will start doing missions. Sasuke, Sakura, you're dismissed. Naruto, come with me to the Hokage's office. We need to have a little chat, Kakashi says with an eye smile, and how the heck does Kakashi even do that, I wonder. How can you eye smile? Lol. Hokage's office 5 minutes later. Teams 1 to 6 failed, Hokage-sama, Haruka Yamino says. Since Kakashi isn't here, let us move on to the other teams, the Hokage says. Before the other two Jonin could respond, a plume of smoke appears in front of the Hokage's desk. When it clears, they all see Kakashi standing there with Naruto. Am I late? Kakashi asks. No. You're just in time, the Hokage replies. I'll start with you, Kakashi, since you're here. Did Team 7 pass or fail? Team 7 passed. Although I must talk with you, Naruto and Kisuke, Kakashi says. The Hokage's eyebrows rise at Kakashi's words. Okay. We'll talk after this meeting is over, the Hokage says. Teammate passes, Hokage-sama, Kurenai says. Although Kiba Inuzuka is a bit brash and Hinata Hyuga is shy, I think I can turn them into a good tracking team. The Hokage nods in agreement and Kurenai leaves the office. Team 10 passes, Pops, Asuma Sarutobi says. Ino is a bit of a fangirl and Shikamaru is just as lazy as his father, but I think the team will turn out good once their teamwork clicks. Asuma gets up and leaves without a response from the Hokage. Iruka-san, I must ask you to leave the office. Thank you for your help with the paperwork on the teams, the Hokage says. Haruka nods and leaves the room. Hiruzen Sarutobi turns to Kakashi and Naruto. Kakashi, what did you want to speak about, he asks. Hokage-sama, I must ask you to clear the room and summon Kisuke Uzumaki. My questions pertain to both young Naruto and to Kisuke, Kakashi says. Or, please go notify Kisuke that we require his presence here. The rest of you can leave for now, the Hokage says. Bor appears and nods at the Hokage and vanishes in a plume of smoke and leaves. A few minutes later, there is a knock on the door. Come in, the Hokage says loudly. Kisuke walks into the room and sees Naruto and Kakashi. What did you do this time, Naruto? Kisuke asks. It wasn't me this time, Kisuke-sensei, Naruto replies. Kisuke, we require complete secrecy here, the Hokage says to him. Kisuke nods and goes through some hand signs and mumbles, Uzumaki sealing technique. Room of silence. There is a loud rumble as he slams his hands down on the ground. He stands up and nods at the Hokage. We can speak freely, Hokage-sama, Kisuke says as he sits down. Very well. Kakashi here has a few questions about Naruto, the Hokage says. Kisuke turns to Kakashi and raises one eyebrow. Kakashi clears his throat and stands up. What in the hell did you teach the boy, Kisuke? Kakashi asks loudly. I taught him the Uzumaki way, Kakashi-senpai. I taught him in his bloodline, and I taught him what he needed to know to survive as a ninja, Kisuke replies. I called bull on that, Kakashi shouts. He knows the shadow clone jutsu, he knows a speed technique that allowed him to get close to me without me sensing him, he knows how to shoot glowing blue sticks at people, and he is able to hide like an ambu. Everything you said is what I trained him in, Kakashi-senpai, Kisuke says. I taught him the shadow clone jutsu with permission from Hokage-sama because Naruto has too much chakra to do the standard illusionary clones. The speed technique you are talking about is in Uzumaki clan technique called Hirinkyaku. It allows the user to move at high speeds over a short range. His ability to hide like an anbu comes from the drills I forced him to do. I pounded into his head every day the meaning of a ninja. A ninja is supposed to be as silent as the night. A ninja must be able to hide in plain sight. Naruto took those words to heart and trained his ass off to achieve the level of skill he has. As for the blue sticks you are referring to, that is another Uzumaki clan technique. Naruto show him. Naruto stands up and grips his left wrist with his right hand. Kakashi can feel the buildup of something. He can't put a word to it. Suddenly a glowing blue bow appears out of Naruto's wrist. Naruto pulls back the string and what appears to be an arrow appears. Amazing, Kakashi whispers. Why wasn't this all in his file though? You know the reason why, Kakashi, the Hokage says. Naruto needed to hide his true abilities. Otherwise the council would have been howling for his head. And don't forget about Danzo. Kakashi nods in agreement. I understand, Hokage-sama. It's just he had me surprised with all he knew. That was the whole point, sensei. If you underestimated me, then anyone I come across will do the same, Naruto says. Very true, Naruto, Kakashi replies. Well, that was all I needed, Hokage-sama, Kisuke. Naruto, meet me here at 7 AM. You mean 10 AM, right sensei, Naruto asks. You catch on quick, Naruto, Kakashi says as he vanishes in a plume of smoke and leaves. Next morning 10 AM outside of the Hokage Tower. Naruto walks up to the Hokage Tower and sees a fuming Sasuke and Sakura. You're late, Naruto baka, Sakura shrieks. Sensei told us to be here at 7 AM. It is now 10 AM. Is Sensei here, Naruto asks. Sakura shakes her head in response to Naruto's question. Then I am not late, Sakura. I arrived at the time I planned to. Not too late and not too early. Very astute of you, Naruto, Kakashi says as he appears. Let's go get your first mission as Genin. Kakashi chuckles as he leads the three Genin into the Hokage Tower. Kakashi leads them into a room where they see the Elder Council and Iruka Yamino sitting behind a desk. Good morning, Shimura-san, Midokado-san, Udatine-san, Naruto says cheerfully. Good morning, Uzumaki-san, Uchiha-sama, Haruno-san, Hamura replies. Here for your first Genin mission, I take it, he asks. Yes. We'll take this mission first, Honorable Elder, Kakashi says grabbing a scroll. Hamura marks it down, and Kakashi leads the Genin out of the Hokage Tower. What is the mission, Sensei, Sakura asks. We have to go pull weeds at the academy, Kakashi replies chuckling. That doesn't sound like a mission. That sounds like a chore. I am an Uchiha. I do not do the work of commoners, Sasuke says snidely. Listen here, Genin, Kakashi says sternly. You are my Genin and are on my team. You will do what missions I choose and do them with a smile. Understood. Sasuke nods rapidly at Kakashi and turns away. Kakashi leads them to the academy and they proceed to start pulling weeds. Kakashi leans against the wall while reading a book. Why aren't you helping us, Sensei, Sakura asks. Because my job is to train you and watch over you. These missions are for you to learn how to follow orders, work as a team, and how to complete missions in a timely fashion, Kakashi replies. Now back to work, Genin Haruno. 3 hours later, the three Genin stand before the Elder Council in the Hokage Tower covered in clumps of dirt and weeds. Well done on completing your first mission, Team 7, Iruka Yamino says. However, you will take a pay cut because it took you longer to complete the mission than expected. What? I am an Uchiha. I don't have to work like a commoner, Sasuke shouts. Uchiha-san, I suggest you change the tone of your voice, a voice says from behind them. The three Genin turn and see the Hokage standing behind them. These missions are training for you. I imagine your sensei already explained all this to you. So, to make sure it sticks, I will repeat what he most likely said. These missions are training for you. They train your skills, your patience and your speed. If you fail to complete a mission in the allotted time, then be expected to lose out on pay. If you fail a mission because you refuse to do it, then expect to never be hired as a ninja. If you take on a mission beyond your skill level, then you will fail or possibly die, the Hokage says sternly. These low-level D-rank missions are in the village to teach you how our system works. It has worked since the founding of this village. My suggestion to you, Uchiha-san, is this. Change your attitude before it gets someone killed or injured. You're dismissed. Let's go, my precious students. We'll pick this up tomorrow. You all have a good night's rest and meet me here at 7 AM, Kakashi says. The three Genin exit the Hokage Tower and head to their respective homes. Chapter 11. Let's make waves. It has been 3 months since Naruto Uzumaki became a ninja. 3 months of doing D-ranked missions that were mind-numbingly boring. After the first month, Naruto had thought that Kakashi would actually train the three new Genin, but his hopes were dashed. The only thing Kakashi would train the three in was team building. Yes, they needed it because both Sasuke and Sakura wouldn't give Naruto the time of day. Sasuke kept pestering Naruto for his techniques, and Sakura just followed Sasuke like a lost puppy. Naruto got so sick of not training or learning anything that he just sent a shadow clone every morning to meet with the team. While his shadow clone was with the team, Naruto would train at the Uzumaki clan compound with Quincy. Quincy started training Naruto in Kenjutsu, so Naruto wouldn't be helpless in close combat situations. Naruto woke up to the sound of his alarm blaring in his ear. He reached over and shut it off. Getting up, he made his way to the bathroom to start his morning ritual. As he stood in the shower letting the water cascade over him and wake him up, he thought back to everything he had learned in the past few months. When Naruto had talked to Quincy about what Kakashi was teaching them, Quincy was extremely angry. Flashback 2 months ago. Quincy-sensei, I have some concerns, Naruto said. They were sitting at the dinner table enjoying some ramen. What are your concerns, Naruto? Quincy replies. Kakashi hasn't taught us anything, Naruto says. He keeps trying to beat teamwork into Sasuke and Sakura. He doesn't do anything whenever Sasuke demands I give him my techniques, and Sakura just follows whatever Sasuke says. So, you're telling me that in the month you have been a Genin, you haven't learned anything, Quincy asks. Not anything related to skills or techniques. I have learned the importance of D-ranked missions and how to properly complete them in a timely fashion, Naruto replies. Starting tomorrow, I want you to send a shadow clone to all your team meetings. I will start teaching you Kenjutsu so you have a better chance in close combat situations. Your Taijutsu is quite strong, but you still need to work on incorporating it with Hirankyaku. Using Hirankyaku for short bursts of speed needs to become second nature to you, Quincy says. Okay, Quincy-sensei, Naruto says. Flashback ends. After that, Naruto focused on the training Quincy made him do. Learning to incorporate Hirankyaku into his Taijutsu form was taking a lot out of him. At the moment, Naruto is only able to use Harinkyaku to disengage your move and swiftly to strike once or twice. The way Quincy described past Uzumakis that used Harinkyaku, it sounded like they were able to use it constantly on the battlefield to allow them to deliver strong, swift blows to multiple enemies. Kenjutsu was also taking a bit to learn. Naruto was only allowed to use a training sword. Quincy told him that when he was ready, he would be allowed to use a blade. Naruto wasn't worthy enough to hold a real blade. As Naruto got dressed, he thought of the bombshell dropped on his shoulders the previous evening. Both Quincy and Hiruzen Sarutobi were there because of the significance of the full moon last night. Flashback previous evening, Naruto, Quincy and Hiruzen Sarutobi stood in the courtyard of the Uzumaki clan compound, looking at the fountain in the center of the courtyard. As the moon rose high over their heads and gave off a deep blood red, they all heard rumbling from under the fountain. Quincy-sensei, what is going on? Naruto asked. Naruto, be quiet for now. I will explain once everything is done, Quincy says sternly. As they watched, the water of the fountain changed color to match that of the moon above their heads. Then the fountain started to rise out of the ground. When it stopped, they could see an opening with stairs leading down into the darkness. Follow me, Naruto, Hokage-sama, Quincy says as he steps forward with a torch. The two follow Quincy down into the darkness. After 30 minutes of just walking down the stairs, Naruto starts to wonder how far into the earth they are traveling. Finally, Quincy stops at the base of the stairs in front of a large steel door. Naruto, come forward, Quincy says. You remember when we moved into the Uzumaki compound and you had to cut your hand to open the gate? Do the same to this door now, Naruto. Naruto steps forward fearfully. He cuts his hand and places it on the door. After a few moments, they all hear a loud boom and the doors open silently. Quincy steps forward with Naruto and the Hokage following. As they step into the room, torches light up along the walls. In front of them, they can see a huge stone tablet. Naruto, Hokage-sama, welcome to the old world of the Uzumakis. No one knows how old this chamber is, nor where it came from. It is connected to the fountain above us. As you know, Hokage-sama, that fountain was brought here by Mito Uzumaki when she married Senju-sama. This night was predicted over 400 years ago. I don't know much other than what I was told, Quincy says. On a night when the blood moon rises and the blood of the Uzumakis have dwindled, the door will open. What exactly is that tablet, Quincy? The Hokage asks. It is the Uzumaki prophecy. Naruto, step forward and read the tablet, Quincy says. Naruto steps in front of the tablet and looks at it. As he does, it seems to glow with an inner light. Naruto reads the tablet aloud to Quincy and the Hokage. Uzumaki prophecy, out of the ashes of the new world, he will be born to give birth to the old. Pain will be his companion, sorrow will be his love, pride will be his downfall, hate will be his guide, the save or destroy, the choice is his, to breathe life to the old, or allow the new to remain. What does it mean, Quincy-sensei? Naruto asks as he steps away from the tablet. It means you are the one prophesied one, Naruto, Quincy whispers. The road of your life just became more complicated, Naruto. Your life will not be easy. Naruto stood there silently thinking on what Quincy said. Suddenly, the tablet gave off a bright red light and cracked down the middle. They see a wooden box fall out of the crack and land at Naruto's feet. Quincy went to the box and opened it. Inside they saw 6 metal rods with an opening at one end and a strange necklace. I don't believe it, Quincy says amazed. These I have only heard of in legend. Naruto, these are some of the most powerful Quincy weapons. They are the Seal Schneider and the Kuinch plus Kurosu, Destruction Cross. The Seal Schneider is a weapon that can be used either as a sword or as an arrow. The Kuinch plus Kurosu is a training aid to help you manifest your bow, or as it is called, Heilig Bogen. It also raises the destructive abilities of your arrows. That is amazing, Quincy, the Hokage says. Yet, I still do not understand why you have allowed me to be here when all this would fall under Uzumaki clan secrets. It is because I wanted your opinion on the prophecy. I had no idea these items would be down here. Like I said, I had only heard about them in legends passed down in the Uzumaki clan, Quincy says. You have given me much to think on, Quincy. Do not worry for I won't make any mention of what occurred here, the Hokage replies. Quincy nods and closes the box and seals it into a scroll. The three make the long trip back up to the surface. As they step back into the courtyard, the doorway closes and the fountain recedes to its previous position. The three go into the main Uzumaki house and spend the next few hours talking over the prophecy, trying to figure out what exactly the words meant. All they got was a headache for their troubles. Flashback ends. Naruto made his way to the kitchen creating a shadow clone to go meet with his team. As he sat down at the table and poured himself a bowl of cereal, Quincy walked in. Good morning, Naruto, Quincy says. Morning, sensei, Naruto replies quietly. What's wrong, Naruto, Quincy asks. Just thinking about what happened last night. I've already got so many worries and now there is this prophecy. I'm the last Uzumaki, I have Quincy abilities, and I have the Kyuubi sealed into me. It's just too much for me to handle right now, Naruto says sadly. Naruto, don't worry about the prophecy. We don't know what the prophecy means, or even if you are the one it talks about. It could mean your children or grandchildren. It's possible you may just be the one to prepare the prophecy child, Quincy says. And if you are the prophecy child, I will help as much as I can to prepare and protect you, Naruto. You are not alone in this. I will do all I can to prepare you for anything in life. Thank you, Quincy-sensei, Naruto replies looking up with a small smile. His eyes close and a look of concentration comes across his face. I've got to go, sensei. It seems we just got our first C-ranked mission. We have to escort an old man to his home in Nami no Kuni and protect him. How'd that happen, Naruto, Quincy asks. The brooding emo and the pink wonder demanded a C rank from Hokage, and he relented. So, I have to go prepare and meet the team at the south gate in an hour, Naruto says. He gets up and rushes to his bedroom. Pulling out empty storage scrolls, Naruto begins to seal extra clothes, kunai and shuriken into them. In the last scroll, he places his tent and sleeping bag. I think that should do it. I have enough for 3 weeks, he thinks to himself. Naruto grabs up the 5 scrolls and seals them into a slightly larger scroll and affixes the scroll to his lower back. He rushes downstairs and sees Quincy standing beside the front door holding a small scroll. Here, Naruto. Inside is food and medical supplies. Enough for a month if need be, Quincy says as he tosses Naruto the scroll. Naruto smoothly catches it and places it into his back hip pouch. Thanks, sensei, Naruto says. I'll see you when we get back. Hopefully in one piece. Naruto rushes out the door and makes his way to the southern gate of the village. Southern gate 10 minutes later. Naruto arrived at the southern gate and saw that he was the first there. He leaned against the wall of the gate and thought about the slight changes he's noticed in how Kakashi acted around the team. When I first met Kakashi, he seemed nice, but lazy. Now, after being around him for 3 months, that seems to have changed. He gives praise to Sasuke and ignores Sakura and me completely. He was shocked about the abilities I had, but hasn't mentioned them, nor has he had us spar with each other to measure our skills. He's changed over the last 3 months, and I wonder why, Naruto thinks to himself. He focuses on teamwork, but doesn't participate in the exercises. Naruto is pulled from his musings as he sees Sasuke and Sakura walk up. Each of them is carrying a large backpack. Naruto Baka, where is your supplies for the mission? Sakura says. Sensei told us to pack for at least a month to be on the safe side. Naruto-san, I have my supplies. Don't worry about me, Naruto replies. Sasuke glares at Naruto. Sakura, it doesn't matter. If the dope refused to pack supplies, then we won't share ours with him, he says smugly. Sasuke then turns to look back towards the village, seeing both Kakashi and Tazuna walking towards them. I see 2 of my genin listen to what I had to say, Kakashi says as he walks up to the 3 genin. Naruto, where are your supplies for the mission? I told you to pack for at least a month. I did, sensei, Naruto replies. All my supplies are packed and sealed in here. Naruto holds out the scroll he had attached to his lower back. Kakashi glances at it and his lone visible eye narrows. Well, since you decided to not help your teammates, you can carry their packs instead, Kakashi says sternly. Fine, sensei, Naruto says as he takes the 2 packs from a grinning Sasuke and Sakura. Naruto pulls out another scroll and proceeds to seal the 2 packs into it. There. I'm carrying their 2 packs, sensei. Good. Now let's move out. I want Naruto in front, Sasuke on the right of Tazuna-san and Sakura on his left, Kakashi says. I'll bring up the back. This way we're covered from all directions. Since this is a C-rank mission, be on the lookout for bandits and thieves. Give me a second, Kakashi-sensei. I need to do something really quick, Naruto says as he heads to a public restroom. Kakashi doesn't stop him and a few minutes later, Naruto joins them and they head out. 3 hours later, the group walked along the road quietly. Sasuke was staring straight ahead and brooding. Sakura was walking and glancing every now and then at Sasuke. Kakashi had his nose buried in a book. Tazuna was stumbling along and drinking out of a bottle. Tazuna-san, does Nami no Kuni have ninja? Sakura asks, breaking the relative silence. No. We're a very small village on a very small island. I'm working on building a bridge to connect to Hai no Kuni, Land of Fire, so we can improve trade relationships, Tazuna replies. Sakura, there are many small villages that don't have ninja. It is why they go to the larger ninja villages to hire ninja, Kakashi says. Kakashi's eyes narrow as they pass a puddle on the side of the road. It hasn't rained in over a month. There shouldn't be a puddle there. Might be an ambush. I'll wait and see what my little genin can do, Kakashi thinks to himself. Suddenly, 2 blurs shoot out of the puddle and surround Kakashi with a spike chain linked between them. Before they can pull the chain taut, 2 blue shafts come shooting out of the forest behind Kakashi, hitting the 2 blurs in the head. What the hell was that is the collective thoughts of everyone. Kakashi runs forward ready to attack the two identified men, but stops when he sees both are out cold. "You can come out now, Naruto," Kakashi says. Naruto comes out of the forest, and the Naruto at the front of the group vanished in a cloud of smoke. "About time you realized it, sensei," Naruto says as he steps forward pulling ninja wire out of his hip pouch. He starts stripping one of the men of valuables and weapons. "Be careful of their weapons, Naruto. These two are the Oni-Kimdai, demon brothers, of the mist. Mizu and Mzu. C-ranked missing ninja of the mist village," Kakashi says. "You should have waited, Naruto. We could have discovered who they were after." "I saw a threat, Kakashi-sensei. Besides, they were going after you first, so I acted," Naruto says as he finishes tying the two up separately. "Good job, kid," Tazuna says. "Tazuna-san, I think it's time we had a talk," Kakashi says sternly. "What do you mean, Kakashi-san?" Tazuna replies as sweat forms on his brow. "What I mean is, why are two C-ranked missing ninja out here where we are walking?" Kakashi asks. "Are they after you or one of us?" "I assume they are after you because this is the first time my genin have been out of the village. They wouldn't be after me because I am an A-rank ninja and it would be suicide for them to try and tackle me." "Alright. I'll tell you the truth. They're probably after me because of Gato," Tazuna says fearfully. "Gato of Gato shipping?" Kakashi asks. "Hi. He wants to stop me from building my bridge. He's taken over Nami no Kuni and has been slowly bleeding us of everything. We don't have the resources to even feed everyone anymore," Tazuna says sadly. "This mission is a lot higher than the C-ranked one you advertised for," Kakashi says. "You have put us all in danger by not telling the truth. This mission could be anywhere between a B to an S-ranked mission." "I had no choice, Kakashi-san," Tazuna says. "That was all the money we had. We only had enough money to hire ninja for a C-ranked mission. I had to try. I had to try and save our country. I'm sorry for the deceit, but it was my only option." Kakashi stares at the man and sees the desperation in his eyes. Kakashi sighs and says, "Well, since this mission is out of our current abilities, we'll have to go back to the village." "No. We won't go back, Kakashi-sensei. This is the chance I've wanted. I need more power," Sasuke says. "Yeah, Kakashi-sensei. Listen to Sasuke-kun. He can do this mission by himself if needed," Sakura shouts. "I hate to say this, Kakashi-sensei, and I'll have to wash my mouth out later for saying this, but they are right," Naruto says. "If we help Nami no Kuni now, this could open trade relations with a lot of places for us. Plus, it's the right thing to do." Kakashi looks at his three genin. Sasuke is glaring at Naruto with rage in his eyes. Sakura is looking at Sasuke with lust, and Naruto is just standing there full of confidence. "Very well. We'll continue the mission. Naruto, no more heroics like you pulled with the demon brothers. Next time, allow your teammates to do something," Kakashi says while glaring at Naruto. Kakashi lets out a shrill whistle, and a hawk glides down to rest on his outstretched arm. Kakashi writes in a scroll and ties it to the hawk. The hawk chirps once and takes off in the direction of the village. "Anbu will come and deal with these two. Let's get this show on the road," Kakashi says. The group resumes their trek towards Nami no Kuni unaware of what is in store for them all. Chapter 12. Demon roars and Quincy soars. The mist was thick as the group sat in a boat quietly making their way to Nami no Kuni. After the quick run-in with the demon brothers, Kakashi pushed the group at a faster pace. They met up with a boater that Tazuna knew before setting off for Kahona. "This mist is thick," Naruto whispers. "You can almost cut it with a knife." "Naruto, be quiet," Kakashi whispers sternly. "We don't know who may be out there." "We're almost there, Tazuna-san," whispers Juni the boatman. "Good. After we land, Kakashi-san, it is only a 3-mile hike to my home," Tazuna whispers. Soon enough, the boat hits the shore. The group gets out and the boatman turns to leave. "Good luck, Tazuna-san. You carry the hope of us all," Juni says as he drifts away. The group starts walking away from the shore. Alert for any movement, Anne. The group is in the formation from last chapter. Naruto in front, Sasuke and Sakura to the sides of Tazuna and Kakashi bringing up the rear. Suddenly Naruto throws a kunai off at a bush. Rushing forward, he parts the bush and they all see a white rabbit dead from the kunai. "Naruto baka. Why did you do that?" Sakura screeched. "That poor rabbit didn't do anything to you." "Kakashi-sensei, I felt a presence," Naruto says completely ignoring Sakura. "Plus, look, the rabbit is white. It is the middle of spring. It should have a brown coat. Everyone stay alert. Someone could be setting an ambush," Kakashi says. The hairs on the back of his neck suddenly stand up and he hears a low whistling sound. "Everyone down," he shouts as he tackles Tazuna. Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura all hit the ground as a giant sword cuts the air above their heads. The sword clips into a tree and stays there. Standing on the handle of the sword is a tall, skinny man. He has his lower face covered up in bandages and wears a hit-eye at a slant on his head. He isn't wearing a shirt, his chest is crisscrossed with multiple scars. He wears a pair of standard ninja pants with a grey camouflage pattern on them. "Give me Tazuna-san and no one has to die," the mysterious man says. Kakashi and the group stand up and look at the man. Zabuza Mamachi. The Kurigakure no Kijin, demon of the hidden mist. A ranked missing ninja of Kurigakure. "What are you doing here?" Kakashi says as his lone eye narrows. "You already know. And I know of you, Sharingan no Kakashi, Kakashi of the Sharingan. It is said you have copied over 1000 jutsu with your Sharingan eye," Zabuza says as he jumps down from his perch, pulling the sword out with one arm and holding it with ease. "Everyone stay back. This battle is out of your league. Protect Tazuna. Naruto, use your clones as backup. Sasuke, provide backup for Naruto. Sakura, stay by Tazuna," Kakashi says as he lifts his hit eye up, revealing a Sharingan eye. "Uo. I get the Sharingan so early, Kakashi," Zabuza says. "I will pluck that eye from your dead body. It'll make a good trophy after I'm done with you." Killing intent suddenly flows forth from Zabuza. Sakura, Sasuke and Tazuna start shaking. Naruto makes 6 shadow clones and moves in closer to Tazuna. "Sasuke, Sakura, don't worry. I won't let my comrades die here," Kakashi says as he unleashes his killing intent, countering the effect Zabuza was having on the genin. Zabuza then goes through a few hand signs and says, "Kurigakure no Jutsu, hidden mist jutsu." The mist around them thickens and Zabuza fades from their sight. "What the hell was that? I could see my death there. I just wanted to die," Sasuke thinks to himself. "How is it that Naruto wasn't affected by it?" "Keep alert you guys," Naruto says. One of his shadow clones runs behind Tazuna and holds up its kunai. The clone blocks the initial strike from Zabuza who appeared out of nowhere. "Lucky break, Gaki," Zabuza says. "However, it'll take more than that to stop me." Zabuza pulls his sword back to take another swing with it. Before he can though, he is swarmed by the other 5 Naruto shadow clones. They stab him, but instead of blood, water drips out of the wounds. "It is a Mizubunshin no Jutsu, water clone jutsu." "A water clone," Kakashi says. "Keep an eye out. He can strike from anywhere." Zabuza is a master of the silent killing technique. "Hahaha. Right you are, Kakashi. Where should I strike next? The heart. The lungs. Kidneys. Jugular. There are so many ways to kill you all. So many ways to spill your blood," Zabuza says, his voice surrounding them. "Where is he, Kakashi-sensei?" Sakura asks shaking. "Why, little girl, I am right here," Zabuza says appearing behind Sakura. He brings his sword around to cleave the young genin in half but is stopped by Kakashi appearing and blocking with a kunai. Kakashi slips past the giant sword as it buries halfway into the ground and plunges the kunai into Zabuza's side. Zabuza collapses into a puddle of water showing Kakashi that he'd been tricked by a water clone. "You're slow, Kakashi," Zabuza says appearing behind Kakashi and swinging with his sword. Kakashi doesn't have time to dodge and takes the hit, dissolving into a puddle of water. "You copied even that jutsu," Zabuza shouts in anger. "Yes, I did," Kakashi says from behind Zabuza as he holds a kunai to his throat. "It is over." Kakashi slices into Zabuza's throat and Zabuza dissolves into yet another water puddle. Before Kakashi can do anything, he is kicked from behind into the small lake a few feet away from them. "This water feels heavy," Kakashi thinks to himself. "I have to move quickly." Before Kakashi can get out of the water, Zabuza appears next to him and flashes through hand signs quickly and says, "Surum no Jutsu, water prison jutsu." An orb of water surrounds Kakashi and holds him in it. "This water is stronger than steel, Kakashi. Just give me Tazuna and I'll allow you to live," Zabuza says. "Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, take Tazuna and run," Kakashi shouts. "Why should I run, sensei?" Sasuke asks. "I am an elite. This man will lose to me." "Yeah. Sasuke-kun will kill this baka and free you, sensei," Sakura screeched. Zabuza smiles under his face wrappings. Taking a hand out of the water prison Kakashi is in, he makes a few one-handed signs and says, "Mizubunshin no Jutsu, water clone jutsu." 10 water clones form out of the water surrounding Zabuza and Kakashi. "Bring it, brats. These water clones only have 10% of my strength. Let's see just how weak you are," Zabuza says. Sasuke seethes at hearing Zabuza mock him. He rushes forward to confront the water clones as they step onto land. He jumps in the air and throws a few kunai, hoping to distract a few of the clones. He swings his leg down in an axe kick onto the lead water clone. The clone lazily raises its arm and blocks Sasuke's kick. Before Sasuke can do anything, he feels pain as the clone kicks him in the stomach, sending him crashing onto the ground in front of Tazuna and Sakura. Sakura screams as she sees the Uchiha land in front of her and rushes to his side. "Are you okay, Sasuke-kun?" she asks as she rolls Sasuke onto his back. She looks at his face and sees he is unconscious. Sakura, pull Sasuke back next to Tazuna-san. "I have a plan, but don't know if it'll work," Naruto says. Sakura drags Sasuke next to Tazuna without saying a word. "Maybe we'll get out of this. But, it should be Sasuke-kun saving us." Not Naruto, Baka Sakura thinks to herself. Naruto steps in front of the water clone smiling. Any chance you'd forget all this and just leave, Zabuza, Naruto asks. I really don't feel like hurting you. Zabuza laughs. You're funny, Gaki. You hurting me? That has to be the funniest joke I have ever heard, Zabuza says. His water clones walk closer to Naruto, all pulling out their copies of the massive sword on Zabuza's back. Naruto grins before dropping 3 smoke bombs. A cloud of smoke conceals him and the clones. When the smoke dissipates, Zabuza is shocked. Standing in the same spot as Naruto. The clones are gone. What did you do? Zabuza asks. A ninja never reveals their secrets, Zabuza, Naruto replies. Suddenly the hair on the back of Zabuza's neck stands up. He looks around him for an attack and sees a group of what looks to be blue sticks flying towards him at a fast speed. He grips his sword in his free hand and swings it at the blue sticks, hoping to block them from hitting him. He blocks a few from striking him, but 3 slip under his guard and pelt him in the stomach, left leg and the arm holding the water prison, forcing him back and dropping Kakashi out of the water prison. Thank you, Naruto, Kakashi says standing up on the water. I'll take it from here. Fall back with the group. Kakashi glares at Zabuza. Just what the hell was that? Zabuza asks. The beginning of the end for you, Zabuza, Kakashi says. We'll see about that, Zabuza replies and starts going through hand signs. His eyes widen as he sees Kakashi going through the same hand signs and he sees a shadow appear behind Kakashi. What are you doing, Kakashi? Zabuza asks bewildered. I have no idea what you are talking about, Kakashi replies. What am I seeing? Zabuza whispers. It is like I'm seeing dot. Your death, Kakashi finishes. He lands on the last hand sign and shouts, Suiten. Daibakufu no Jutsu, water style. Giant waterfall jutsu. The water surges around Kakashi and shoots at Zabuza. Zabuza is too shocked to dodge and the water picks him up and throws him through the trees beside the small lake. Zabuza's journey comes to a sudden stop as he's slammed into a large tree. Ugh. Did his eye tell him the future? Zabuza asks himself. As he starts to pull himself up, 2 kunai bury themselves into his shoulders, causing him to sit back down on the ground. Kakashi appears with a kunai held to Zabuza's neck. This is the end for you, Zabuza, Kakashi says as he prepares to take Zabuza's life. Kakashi suddenly jumps away from Zabuza as 3 senbon needles impact into Zabuza's neck. A ninja appears with a Kiri mask on. Thank you for your help, ninja-san. I've been hunting Zabuza for some time now, the ninja says in a calm voice. You're a hunter nin from Kiri, Kakashi asks. Hi. I've been trailing Zabuza for 3 months now. Your fight provided me the opening I needed to take him out. I'll deal with his body now. Goodbye, ninja-san. The ninja steps forward and picks up Zabuza and his large sword and vanishes in a shunshin. 2 of the genin and Tazuna walk up to Kakashi. It's over now, Tazuna-san. We'll be able to complete this mission now, Kakashi says. He stumbles forward and leans against a tree. That fight took more out of me than I thought. Naruto, I'm going to need you to carry me to Tazuna's home. You'll also have to carry Sasuke if he's still unconscious, okay? Hein-sensei, Naruto says. He makes 4 clones. 2 go and pick up Sasuke and 2 go over to Kakashi as he places his hit I-8 slanted over his Sharingan eye again. Lead the way, Tazuna-san. Sakura, keep alert. We might not be out of the woods yet. Sakura nods and follows Tazuna. Naruto brings up the rear carrying the other 2 ninja. This mission is going to be long, Naruto thought to himself. 2 hours later, Tazuna's home. After walking through the extremely small and run-down village, the group arrived at Tazuna's home. It was a small, modest home that looked to have seen better days. After entering the home, the group was introduced to Tazuna's daughter, Tsunami. She got the group situated into a room and left them there. Sensei, you awake? Naruto asks. Ugh. For now I am. Why do you ask? Kakashi asks. That hunter nin has me thinking, Naruto says. Kisuke-sensei told me that hunter nin dispose of a body on the spot to prevent their village's secrets from being discovered. That is correct, Naruto, Kakashi says. Then why didn't that hunter nin do so with Zabuza? Why take the body away from the area he died? Plus, how did he take Zabuza out? Naruto asks. Kakashi's lone eye widens in realization. I think you're onto something, Naruto. The hunter nin used senbon needles. If someone is well versed in human anatomy, it is possible to put someone in a death-like state, Kakashi says. So it is possible that Zabuza is still alive then, Naruto says. Yes. It will take Zabuza a week or 2 before he is fully recovered from the injuries he got from battling. Speaking of that, I know from what you did with the demon brothers that your arrows can knock someone out. Why didn't they knock Zabuza out? Kakashi asks. It is because I substituted power for quantity. I fired multiple arrows to allow a larger chance of hitting Zabuza. If I had fired only 1 or 2 arrows, he could have blocked them, Naruto explained. Give me that power, dope, Sasuke says as he sits up. You don't deserve that power. Sasuke, that is enough, Kakashi says. If it wasn't for Naruto, we would all be dead. I don't have to listen to you, Kakashi-san. I'll just wait until we're in the village and get the council to force him to give me his power, Sasuke says smugly. Naruto, tired of hearing Sasuke's rambling, gets up and heads down to the kitchen. Hello, Tsunami-san, Naruto says walking into the kitchen. Would you like some help with preparing dinner? Tsunami turns around and sees Naruto. Hi, some help would speed up dinner, Tsunami says. Thank you for saving my father, Naruto-san. It was no problem, Tsunami-san. And just call me Naruto. I've never been one for honorifics, Naruto says. Only if you call me Tsunami, Naruto, Tsunami says. She turns and starts cutting up vegetables. Naruto pulls out the rabbit he killed earlier and starts skinning it. Where did you get that, Naruto, Tsunami asks. I killed it before Zabuza attacked us. I think it was used as a substitution, but I don't know for sure. It is possible it was someone's pet because of the white fur. Oh, well. It will at least make for a good dinner for us, Naruto says. The two focus on preparing dinner for everyone. Dinner table. Everyone is seated around the dinner table waiting to be served. Naruto and Kakashi saw a glimpse of Tsunami's son, Inari, before sitting down. The young boy grabbed a bowl from Tsunami and ran upstairs with it. Dinner smells quite good, Tsunami-san, Kakashi says as he inhales the aroma of the food. Don't just thank me, Kakashi-san. Naruto helped with providing a rabbit for dinner, Tsunami says. What? Naruto baka, how could you do that to a poor rabbit, Sakura shrieks. It's food, Sakura. I don't waste food, Naruto says as he sets the pot of stew down on the table. Well, I'm not going to eat it. You killed that rabbit for no reason, Sakura says slumping down in her seat. More for us then, Naruto says as he hands a bowl of the stew over to Kakashi. Kakashi nods in thanks and sets the bowl down in front of him. Naruto hands a bowl over to Sasuke, who doesn't say a word. Itadakimasu, everyone says as they dig into the stew. Ah, that was quite good, Kakashi says. His bowl stands empty. Everyone is shocked. How'd you eat so fast and all without removing your mask, sensei, Sakura asks. Trade secret, Kakashi says, smiling. Hurry up and eat. We've got training to do tomorrow. Why are we training, sensei, Sakura asks. Because Zabuza is alive and will probably attack us in a few weeks, Naruto says digging into his second bowl of stew. What do you mean, Sakura asks. Didn't sensei kill Zabuza? No. I did not kill Zabuza. Someone posing as a Kiri Hunter Nin appeared and took Zabuza away before I could deal the final blow, Kakashi says. Then why are we going to train, sensei, Sakura asks. We're going to train so you can become stronger than you currently are, Sakura. Think of it like this, if you had only a 40% chance to beat an enemy today, but a 60% chance to beat that same enemy tomorrow, what would you choose, Kakashi asks. I choose tomorrow when I have a higher chance, Sakura replies. There's your answer. Even a little bit of training can give you the edge you need to defeat an enemy, Kakashi says. Well, since we have training tomorrow, I'm off to bed, Naruto says. I have 5 shadow clones outside keeping an eye out for anything, sensei. Smart thinking, Naruto. We should all head to bed, Kakashi says. The group clears the table and heads to bed. Next morning, Kakashi leads the 3 genin out of the house and to a small clearing after everyone was up and fed. Today, we'll be training in chakra control, Kakashi says. You'll be learning how to climb trees without your hands. How do we do that, sensei, Sakura asks. It is quite easy, Sakura. Just watch me, Kakashi says as he walks over to a nearby tree. He places one foot on the tree and starts walking up the tree. He stops on a branch halfway up the tree and looks down at his genin. Too much chakra and you'll just shoot off the tree. Too little chakra and you won't stick to the tree. You have to find the right balance. Kakashi drops to the ground and looks at the 3 genin. Sensei, I already know how to do this, Naruto says. How do you know this, Naruto, Kakashi asks. Iski-sensei taught me so I'd learn better chakra control. I needed it considering how much chakra I have, Naruto replies. Kakashi nods for Naruto to show him and Naruto walks up the same tree Kakashi used for his demonstration. Naruto hops off the tree and lands next to Kakashi. Well then, do you know the other half to this exercise, Kakashi asks. Yes, though Kiski-sensei told me to wait a while before I learn, Naruto replies. Okay. You've got the day to yourself since you already know this. I'll stay here and keep an eye on the other 2 until they learn it, Kakashi says. Look sensei, I did it, Sakura says sitting on a tree branch. Very good, Sakura. Are you tired, Kakashi asks. A little bit, sensei, Sakura replies. Rest for a bit then keep doing the exercise. You have very little chakra so this was easy for you. By doing the exercise over and over, you'll increase how much chakra you have while maintaining control over it, Kakashi says. Sasuke seeds at seeing Sakura doing the exercise on the first try. He runs at a tree and places a foot on it. He is blasted back from the tree, leaving a foot-sized indent on the tree. Well, I'm off for now, Kakashi-sensei. Sasuke, you're using too much chakra. Slow down and calm yourself. You'll get it, Naruto says as he walks away. Sasuke glares at the blonde as he walks away. Sasuke, hop to it. Sakura, keep doing the exercise, Kakashi says as he pulls out his book and starts reading it. The two genin can hear him giggling every now and then as they continue the exercise. Azuna's house, dinner time. The group is sitting at the dinner table patiently waiting for dinner to be served. Sasuke and Sakura look like they both fought a tree and lost. You can see sweat and dirt stuck to the both of them. You are all going to die, a small voice says from the hallway. The group turns and sees Inari standing in the doorway. Inari, don't talk like that, Tsunami says. These people are here to help us. It doesn't matter. Gato will kill them all, Inari says sitting down. You must hate your family then, Naruto says coldly. His eyes shadowed by his hair. What do you know of suffering? You live in a ninja village. There isn't suffering there, Inari says. What do I know of suffering? Naruto begins. The room suddenly feels colder as Naruto starts releasing a bit of killing intent. I know more of suffering than you do. You don't know what it is like to have to dig through the trash just to find food. You don't know what it is like to be beaten by adults around you for something you had no control over. You don't know what it's like to live day to day constantly afraid of what that day may bring you. Don't tell me I know nothing of suffering. Naruto stands up and glares down at the boy. Naruto, that's enough, Kakashi says. The killing intent vanishes and Naruto heads to the front door. Where are you going, dope? Sasuke asks. I'm going to go blow off some steam, Naruto says tersely. The door slams behind him as he leaves. Kakashi-sensei, Naruto was lying, right? Sakura asks. No. If anything, that was an extremely watered-down version of his life, Kakashi says. The other's eyes widen in shock. Naruto lived a hard life. It is why he acts more like an adult than a kid at times. The group proceeds to eat the dinner quietly thinking about what Naruto said. Forest clearing next morning. The figure walks through the forest coming across a strange sight. In a clearing, Naruto is laying down sleeping surrounded by multiple trees that have holes up and down them. The figure walks into the clearing and gets a good look at Naruto. The figure tenses up at seeing the young man. He killed Violet and hurt Zabuza-sama, the figure thinks to herself. Yes, Haku is a girl. I don't care what the manga and I'm say, Haku came across as female in both, and that's how I'm going to ride her. I don't have any weapons because I didn't think I'd run into one of the Kahona ninja out here. I can make some senbon, but it won't be enough. Before the figure can move, Naruto suddenly vanishes. You should learn to hide your killing intent better, Hunter-san, Naruto says from behind the figure with a kunai held to their throat. I don't know what you are talking about, sir. My name is Haku and I'm out here picking medicinal herbs, Haku says slightly sweating. I highly doubt you are just some civilian girl, Haku-san. I felt your killing intent the moment you unleashed it, Naruto says. However, I'm not heartless. I'll help you pick the herbs you need. Haku releases the breath she had been holding. Thank you. Are you a ninja? You moved so quickly, Haku says trying to keep up the farce. You can drop the act, Haku-san. My name is Naruto. If I had wanted to attack you, I would have already done so. There is no reason to lie. You are the fake hunter nin that took Zabuza away before my sensei could finish him off, Naruto says while handing a few herbs to Haku. Very well then. Yes, I am the hunter nin. I had to save Zabuza-sama from your group. It is my job to protect Zabuza-sama as his tool, Haku says. Ninja aren't tools, Haku-san. Hopefully you'll learn this someday. Ninjas may be used as killers, but we have emotions, Naruto says. What were you doing out here, Naruto-san? Haku asks. Blowing off some steam and training a bit, Naruto says. You already seem so strong. Why are you training? Haku asks. Don't think I don't see what you are trying to do, Haku-san, Naruto says. However, there is no harm in telling you. I'm training to get stronger so I can help this small country get out from underneath the boot of Gato. You know we will probably end up fighting each other soon, Haku says. Yes, but it doesn't mean we can't be civil and friendly towards each other, Naruto says. Haku stands up and picks up her basket of herbs. By the way, I am a boy, Haku says as she walks away. No you are not, Haku-san, Naruto says. I can tell you aren't a boy by how you carry yourself. Tell Zabuza that I can't wait to see him again and tell him not to trust Gato. If Gato is the type of person I think he is, I can easily see him double-crossing you. Goodbye for now, Haku-san. Naruto runs off towards Tazuna's house. Haku stands there for a moment before turning and leaving the clearing. I hope we can stay friends too, Naruto-san. But, I am Zabuza-sama's tool. I'll do what he tells me to, Haku says to herself as she heads off further into the forest. Chapter 13. The Truth of Pain. For the past week Naruto has come to realize many truths. Number 1 is that Kakashi was never going to be a good sensei for him. Number 2 is his team didn't give a damn what happened to him. Naruto focused on training himself, and every evening when he dragged himself back to Tezuna's home beaten and battered, no one ever said a word to him. Naruto tried asking Kakashi for advice, but the Jonin just shrugged him off and ignored him. Naruto knew enough to not even attempt to ask Sasuke or Sakura for advice. Sasuke would demand his techniques, and Sakura would just try and hit him to impress Sasuke. Fighting and training with his shadow clones taught Naruto a lot. He still had a lot to learn in order to hit a fast-moving target while moving around a battlefield. The week of training made him realize that he has to improve his speed with drawing, firing arrows and moving at high speeds. Using Harinkyaku, Naruto learned to train his eyes and body to react better after stopping the high-speed technique. You're learning, flesh bag. You still have a lot to learn, but you've at least learned and accepted the truth that you are alone in training, and on this team a voice rumbled from inside Naruto's head, pulling him from his thoughts. You're one to talk, Kyuubi. I know there are things you are hiding from me, just like a lot of the people in my life. Naruto thinks back at the tailed beast. The truth will come in due time, flesh bag. Now, stop moping and get back to your duty, the Kyuubi replies and goes silent. Naruto huffs and walks up to Tezuna's home. Walking in, he sees Kakashi sitting on the couch, face buried in his ever-present book. Hello, Kakashi-sensei, Naruto says, sitting down beside Kakashi. Oh, hello Naruto. You done training for the day, Kakashi asks. Yeah. I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be for now, Naruto replies. Good. The plan for tomorrow is for you to stay here while I take Sasuke and Sakura to the bridge to protect Tezuna. There's a chance Gato will send someone here for Tsunami-san, Kakashi says. And I don't get a say, sensei, Naruto asks. No. You are my subordinate. I am your Jonin sensei and you have to follow my orders, Kakashi replies sternly. You have to learn to follow the rules, Naruto. Fine, Naruto says with a huff. I'm off to get plenty of rest, sensei. Naruto gets up and walks into the room Tezuna set up for him to sleep in. He crawls into his sleeping bag and closes his eyes. This is a bunch of crap. I'm stronger than Sakura and more level-headed than Sasuke. Making me stay, yeah, I see the logic behind it, but it'd be better to have Sasuke stay behind, Naruto thinks to himself. Not if your sensei wants to have peace of mind. We both know the Uchiha is unstable. Kakashi probably also knows this and wants to go the path of least resistance, the Kyuubi replies. That does make sense, but what if they get into trouble tomorrow, Naruto asks. Then that means that you'll have to work quickly here and get to the bridge and pull their asses out of the fire, the Kyuubi replies, chuckling. Now go to sleep, flesh bag. Tomorrow we'll be trying enough without your incessant ramblings. The Kyuubi then goes silent. Naruto rolls over and lets sleep take him. Next morning, Naruto woke up to the sound of a scream. Sitting up fully alert, Naruto listens to what was happening down the hall from his room. You leave my mother alone, a young voice yells. Inari, Naruto thinks to himself. Shut up kid or you'll die. Gato only wants your mother. This is your one chance to walk away, a guff voice says. Goon number 1, Naruto thinks to himself. Leave my son alone or I'll bite my tongue in half and you won't have a hostage anymore, a female voice yells. Tsunami, Naruto thinks to himself. You won't do anything, woman. Otherwise your son will suffer in your place, a high-pitched male voice says. Goon number 2, Naruto thinks to himself. I think that it is time for me to make a move. Naruto gets up and creates 4 shadow clones. You know what to do, Naruto says to his shadow clones. With a nod, the shadow clones jump out the window of the room. Naruto walks to the door of the room and steps out into the hall. He sees 2 men holding Tsunami with swords on their waists. Inari is slumped on the floor holding a cut lip. Let them go and maybe your lives will be spared, Naruto says sternly. The 2 goons look up at him and glare. You're funny kid. You should just run off before you die here, Goon 1 says in a gruff voice. Yeah, kid. You're no match for Kawabi and me, Goon 2 says, his voice high-pitched. Did someone kick you in the balls or something, Naruto asks, chuckling. Your voice is so high-pitched I'm surprised there is glass in the windows. You're dead kid. No one makes fun of Brix's voice and lives through it, Kawabi says. Brix steps forward drawing his sword. This will be so easy, he says grinning. You're right about that. This will be easy, Naruto says. Say goodnight boys. Huh, both thugs ask at the same time before their world goes dark as 2 shadow clones chop them on the back of the neck, knocking them out. The shadow clones gather up the 2 men and drag them outside. Tsunami runs forward and bends down to check on Inari. Thank you, Naruto-san, Tsunami says tearfully. It's okay, Naruto replies. Is there somewhere you can go in case more goons show up? Yeah. We have a neighbor we can go to. He doesn't live very far from here, Tsunami replies. Good. My shadow clones will go with you just in case, Naruto says. The 4 shadow clones step forward and surround the 2 civilians. Naruto heads for the front door. I'm off to the bridge. I have a feeling my help will be needed, Naruto says as he walks out. Stay safe. Bridge. Naruto arrived at the bridge to see it engulfed in mist. Not being able to see what is going on inside the mist, Naruto stops attaching himself to the underside of the bridge. Knowing he needs information, Naruto creates a few shadow clones and sends them into the mist. After a few moments, Naruto twitches as the shadow clone's memories hit him. So, Kakashi is fighting Zabuza. Sakura is guarding Tazuna, and Sasuke is fighting Haku inside a dome of what looks like mirrors. Naruto thinks to himself. Sasuke needs help. So I need to create a distraction and try to get him out of the mess he's in. Naruto nods to himself and creates 6 shadow clones. Stealing himself, he leaps onto the bridge into the mist. Moving cautiously and quietly, Naruto slowly makes his way to where he saw the dome of mirrors. His shadow clones moved with him. Quietly they inch closer and closer to the sounds of fighting. With a nod to his clones, they move off to surround the dome. Through the gaps Naruto sees Sasuke covered in needles and shooting off Kaiten. Nkakek no Jutsu, fire style. Fireball Jutsu, trying to escape from the dome to no avail. One of the shadow clones tries to use substitution jutsu to free Sasuke but is taken out by a hail of needles. It won't be that easy to help him escape my jutsu, Naruto, Haku says, sticking her head out of one of the mirrors and looking at Naruto. Well, I had to try. Guess I'll just have to come in there and defeat you to stop you then, Naruto replies. He calmly walks into the dome. Sasuke looks up from where he is kneeling and sees Naruto calmly walking towards him. What do you think you are doing, you idiot? Sasuke shouts. This is my enemy. I will defeat him and become powerful enough to kill him. Naruto sees an almost maniacal look in Sasuke's eyes. Eyes that are now blood red, signifying the awakening of the Sharingan. Naruto walks over to Sasuke and helps him to his feet. Look, Sasuke. You're having trouble beating this person. You've got needles sticking out of you all over and you haven't been able to escape this dome. I'm here to help. They always say 2 heads are better than 1, Naruto whispers in Sasuke's ear. You may not like it, but I tried to help you from the outside. It didn't work. Since the person let me in here, I can at least try to help here. Fine. Just don't get in my way, Sasuke snaps at Naruto. I can almost see him when he moves in between the mirrors. Distract him and I'll try and land a solid hit on him so we can get out of here. Naruto nods and creates 4 shadow clones. With his shadow clones, Naruto pulls out a brace of shuriken. Why 4 shuriken pulled at the same time is called a brace, I have no idea. Lol. They throw them at the mirrors as Haku launches a wave of needles. In seconds, Naruto's shadow clones are pierced with needles. Naruto sees the needles coming right for him and tries to dodge. Naruto screams in agony as the needles pierce his lower back and left thigh. Sasuke launches another Kaiten. Nkakek no Jutsu, fire style. Fireball Jutsu, at Haku. Once again he misses. Damn it, Naruto. Move your butt. Do something more, Sasuke shouts. I almost had him there. I'm doing what I can, team. And all I've got to show for it so far is a backside full of needles, Naruto shouts back as he gets off the ground. Let's try this again. Naruto does the hand sign for his shadow clones, but before he can create any, Haku launches another wave of needles at him. Naruto starts to dodge to his right when his leg spasms and he falls back down onto the ground in pain. All Naruto can do is watch in horror as the needles get closer and closer. Naruto closes his eyes to brace for the inevitable. Gritting his teeth, Naruto waits for the pain of the needles to hit him. When nothing comes after a few seconds, Naruto opens his eyes and sees Sasuke in front of him covered head to toe in needles. Why is the only word that comes out of Naruto's mouth, shock evident on his face. I don't know why. My body moved on its own, Sasuke says. I guess I'll never be strong enough. Kill him for me someday, will you, dope? Sasuke falls into Naruto's arms. Kill him so my clan can rest in peace. Sasuke's eyes slowly close. Naruto checks for a pulse, but finds nothing. Why? Why did you kill him, Haku? I thought we understood each other. I thought that we could be friends. All he was trying to do was survive against you. You didn't have to kill him, Naruto shouts. A ninja must harden their heart for moments like this, Naruto. You are a killer. All ninjas are killers. It is the name of the game, Haku says almost tauntingly. His heart wasn't hardened enough to survive, so I put him out of his misery. No, Naruto shouts out. Pain and anger evident in his shout. I don't believe you. You are not heartless like that, Haku. I will kill you for this. My heart will be made of iron when I'm done with you. Naruto's mindscape, yes. Feed that anger, flesh bag. Allow it to grow and use my power to kill all those around you. Use my power to destroy everything. And when you break, I will be free, the Kyuubi says gleefully. Thump thud. Thump thud. Thump thud. The sound reverberates through the mindscape. What is this? Where is that noise coming from, the Kyuubi asks. Be silent, weakling. Be silent or I will end you, a voice says loudly. A sense of dread washes over the Kyuubi. Impossible. That line was ended. The last of your offspring were destroyed millennia ago, the Kyuubi shouts, fear filling his eyes. The line will never end as long as a single Uzumaki remains. Now it is time for me to come out and play, the voice says gleefully. It has been so long since I got to play. I wonder if anyone can give me a challenge like those three did ages ago. Real world. In seconds, an oppressive aura washes over the bridge. Sakura and Tazuna drop to the ground in a dead faint, struggling to breathe. Kakashi and Zabuza stop their fight looking towards where the oppressive aura is coming from. Haku is on the ground in front of Naruto struggling to stand. Naruto is looking down at the ground shuddering. Suddenly he looks up and lets out a blood-curdling scream, his body convulsing and eyes wide and staring. It's the Kyuubi, Kakashi thinks to himself. It is breaking free. I need to stop him now. Kakashi runs forward with a kunai in his hand, hoping to reach Naruto and end him before the Kyuubi breaks free. Kakashi suddenly dodges left as Zabuza appears before him. We're not done with our fight, Kakashi, Zabuza says. That boy has a tailed beast inside him, doesn't he? We have time, Kakashi. Time enough to finish our fight and the victor can then put the poor boy out of his misery before the beast is fully released. We have to stop him now, Zabuza, Kakashi yells. This is the one chance I've had to kill the beast that killed my sensei. Ah. So it is revenge you seek. Revenge against the tailed beast, Zabuza says. Let me tell you a secret, Kakashi. If you kill the boy, the beast won't feel a thing. I hate to burst your little bubble world, but the boy is not the beast. Liar. You lie, Kakashi screams and charges at Zabuza. Blinded by anger, Kakashi swings his kunai wildly, never coming close to hitting Zabuza. Seeing that anger has overtaken Kakashi, Zabuza just continues to dodge and wait for an opening. Wait for it. Wait for it, Zabuza thinks to himself. There. Seeing an opening, Zabuza swings his giant sword. Kakashi, too blinded by anger, does not see it coming. The giant cleaver slams into Kakashi's unprotected side, sending him flying into the railing of the bridge. Zabuza quickly follows up and brings the blade down on Kakashi's head flat-sided. Kakashi falls to the ground lifelessly unconscious. Be glad I'm more honorable than you thought, Kakashi. I am allowing you to live. Live and learn to control that anger or it will be the death of you, Zabuza mumbles to Kakashi. Now I've got to go and save my wayward student. I fear she has bitten off more than she can chew. Inside the dome of ice, Haku stands in front of Naruto on shaking legs. Struggling to breathe through the oppressive aura Naruto is displaying. Haku looks into Naruto's eyes and is frightened by what she sees. What used to be ocean blue eyes are now pitch black. It is like staring into an abyss, Haku thinks to herself. It is as if there is no life in them anymore. The guttural voice issues forth from Naruto, freedom at last. After 5,000 years the seal has weakened. Haku steps back, frightened by this new change. Suddenly a black miasma pours out of Naruto's eyes. Dripping to the ground, it slowly starts covering Naruto from head to foot. It soon forms a dome around Naruto and collapses inwards, sending out a huge shockwave that shatters Haku's ice mirrors and sends her flying down the bridge. I've got you, Haku, Zabuza says as he catches Haku. What is going on? It's Naruto. He's changed somehow. He thought I killed Sasuke, but I only put him in a death-like state, Haku replies. Naruto then screamed and started releasing the suppressive aura. At first the aura was bearable. Then it changed. Changed how? Zabuza asks. It grew stronger. More anger-filled, Haku replies. Like lambs to the slaughter. Would you give me a challenge, Zabuza? The voice asks from Naruto. Who are you? Zabuza asks. That is a very long story, Zabuza. I'll give you the short version so we can get to playing, the voice replies. I was sealed into the Uzumaki blood over 5,000 years ago. Sealed by the Sage of the Six Paths, his brother and his secret second wife. What? Zabuza asks in disbelief. The sage is a myth. Everyone knows that the Uchiha and Senju are supposed descendants of his two sons. Yes. That is the story everyone knows. No one knew that the sage had a secret wife. One that he had a daughter with. One that fought me and sealed me into her bloodline. I have been in the Uzumaki bloodline since that day. Waiting for a time when I would be freed once again, the voice replies. My name has been forgotten through the ages. I was once called Iwich. You may call me Kaiser. Kaiser Uzumaki, I suppose. Zabuza pulls his sword out, preparing for the inevitable attack. Before the attack comes, he hears clapping coming from behind him. Zabuza turns and sees Gato at the end of the bridge, surrounded by 300 oddball mercenaries. Is this all the great Zabuza can do? Gato asks with a sneer. I hired you to kill a bridge builder, and a child is able to stop you. Well boys, I tell you what. Whoever brings me Zabuza's head gets his pay. The mercenaries all grin gleefully and charge towards Zabuza. Now this is more like it. I'll get to sate my bloodlust for now and exercise at the same time, Kaiser says gleefully. He starts running slowly at the charging mercenaries. You're a fool if you think you can take them all on, Zabuza shouts. Watch me, weakling. Watch and learn, Kaiser says before suddenly vanishing. In an instant screams are heard all across the bridge as mercenaries find themselves missing arms, legs, heads or even having holes put into their chests. Within seconds, the mercenaries are all dead. What the hell, Gato shouts. Not hell. Just death given form. You have oppressed these people long enough, Gato. For that you will suffer, Kaiser says from behind Gato. Gato turns around and looks up fearfully. Kaiser grips Gato by the top of his head and throws him into the air. Mumbling something under his breath, arrows appear out of nowhere and impale Gato, sending him even further into the air until he is just a speck in the distance. Zabuza, tell the boy to train his body more. It is weak. He will be in a world of pain when he awakes. Tell his idiot sensei to not worry about the beast in the boy. That puppy will be healed in moments when I arrive. You and your student are to accompany them back to their village. You will train the boy since no one else will do it. You will do all this or else. This is your one warning, Kaiser tells Zabuza. Zabuza watches as Naruto's eyes shift from black to blue and his body fall to the ground in a heap. Great. Well, Haku, we have our work cut out for us. Let's get started. I do not want to be on his bad side, Zabuza says. Haku nods and walks up to Naruto and picks him up. Take him to the bridge builder's house while I clean up here. Yes, Zabuza-sama, Haku replies. Haku, Zabuza starts. Haku turns and looks at him. Never call me Sama again. You are like a daughter to me. I would have died if you had died today. Haku turns away, a small smile hidden on her face. What if Naruto is a Quincy in Bleach? Thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel and leave a like if you guys need the next part, comment down, and thanks for watching the video and see you guys in the next video.